Good Friday evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the campus of Lebanon High School in Wilson County, where we are set for the high school football game of the week. Week 2 is here, and we've got a good non-region showdown as the 6A Lebanon Blue Devils host the 4A Upperman Bees. I'm Noah McKay on the call here on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network. Thrilled to be joined in the press box by my friend Jeremy Tollison, the lovely Madison McKay producing things for us. Hallie Ledbetter on the sidelines. We'll hear from her coming up as we get into the Crouch Team with Highlands Lake Real Estate pregame show, and it's also during the high school football game of the week, so it is also the Watson Chevy pregame show. Tonight's broadcast presented by our friends at Gentry's Power Equipment. And Jeremy, a 15-minute delayed start here. We had some storms which are hopefully gone for the evening out. Unfortunately, moving the way of the Upper Cumberland, maybe a little bit north, we hope, but lightning delayed this game for 15 minutes, why we're just going live now. You have not missed anything. We're still 13 minutes away from kickoff. We're also live on 106.1 The Eagle. We welcome those of you listening and across on the Hub Plus app and several other places. Wherever you want to watch high school football, you can tonight. And a different test this week for the Upperman Bees. Of course, coming off of last year's run to the state championship game. They have the stated goal. They're trying to get back and win that game this year. Last week, they go on the road to Fayetteville and throttle the Tigers 48-6, but a very down Fayetteville squad. Upperman knows head coach Chuck Gentry's Lebanon Blue Devils, coming off a narrow loss to Antioch, is a very different test than what they faced a week ago at Fayetteville. It is, and one thing I respect about Coach Kane is he does not shy away from tough challenges to get him ready for region play. Some people will line up a lesser opponent just to put a win on the board, but Coach Kane has always kind of shied away from that, and obviously he wants to win. There's no question, one of the most fiercely competitive coaches I've ever seen, but this game, he wants to win, but it's not something that he has to win. It wouldn't hurt him in region play, but the test is here, the depth of Lebanon, the size of Lebanon, the athleticism of Lebanon. Great test early on in the season. Yeah, without a doubt. And you talk about this Upperman team and what they're hoping to do this year. This is the non-region game. There is a huge game looming for them next week, of course, in the form of the Macon County Tigers, a game with gigantic postseason implications. Last year, one team outside of in that state championship game played Upperman within a possession. It was Macon County twice. I talked to Coach Kane earlier today and said, are you going to hold anything back? Knowing what he was going to say. The answer was an absolute no. We'll do whatever we have to do to win this football game tonight. Upperman with their full focus on the Lebanon Blue Devils. They have not even begun to talk about Macon County with the football team. As we look at the tail of the tape in this matchup, two Upper Cumberland coaches. Adam Kane, of course, in year number 7 in Baxter for Lebanon. Chuck Gentry. Lebanon 0-1 on the season. They went 5-5 a year ago, 3-3. Very much an up and down season for the Lebanon Blue Devils a year ago, just on the outside of the playoffs in regions 4, 6A. Last week, they fell to Antioch, 34-22. They led 15-0, returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, but they gave up 3 touchdown passes in the last 8 minutes of the first half, one of which came for 72 yards. Upperman hopes that means they can find some success in the passing game. They did graduate some key players from last year's team. Kason Kincaid, the quarterback, Key Crowell, Damian Calloway, Sean Heath, who scored a touchdown last year against Upperman, and Chaston Dixon. They did get a big transfer in, though, from within their region. Is coming over from Mountain Juliet was Harrison, a.k.a. Deuce Edwards. He's the one that scored that touchdown. He's their most electric playmaker. So for Lebanon, that is where they sit right now at 0-1. For Upperman, want to know, mention, they dominated Fayetteville last week, 48-6. They led 34-0 at halftime of that game. We'll talk a lot about him tonight. The junior quarterback, Bronsden Chaffin, 9 of 11, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 different Bs scored a touchdown in the game a week ago. Ethan Paulk, 10 carries, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. They held the 3-star quarterback for Fayetteville, Sam Willoughby, to just 8 completions for 137 yards. They intercepted him 2 times. Carmine Phillips, Branson Turnbow with the picks. And, of course, these two teams faced each other a year ago in Baxter, and Upperman won 24-14. Coach Gentry's made it clear this week. They remember that game where it was a 10-point gap, but it was never close. Upperman physically controlled the game for Lebanon. They know it may be a 4A team, but they better have the chin straps buckled when the Upperman Bees come to town. They are, but, we talk about this as a good measuring stick for what Upperman's season is going to look like here forward, but I also think it's a huge measuring stick for Lebanon as well. Listen, I'm sure after it's the 4A team, they go to Baxter last year, they lose. There's no doubt in my mind that Lebanon has probably circled this game, a little bit of a revenge situation,
And, hey, Upperman made the state championship game last year. All of these things add up. So this is a revenge game. It's not a region game, but believe me, Lebanon wants this game, and they want to prove that they belong with a team like Upperman.
One of 5 games tonight live across the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network. We'll tell you about it coming up. We're going to take a break for the national anthem. Hallie Ledbetter caught up with Adam Kane just moments ago. Hear from him, some of our sponsors, and be back in time for kickoff.
Coach, what do you need to see out of your line tonight against a sizable Lebanon team?
Well, I've talked to them all week about there's a different kind of physicality and intensity and team speed with a 6A school. That's just the way they play. And, we got to get settled in and get comfortable with that and, just try to execute what we're doing. I don't need anybody to do anything heroic or anything like that. It's just what we practice and what we work on all week. So, the big key is just going to get adjusted to the speed and physicality of it.
How crucial is tonight's game looking towards your matchup next week against Macon County?
They're all crucial. I look at it like a 10 game developmental period. And so each time we get to go out, more important than any practice in terms of getting better. And so we always want to put our best foot forward. You're only guaranteed 10 opportunities, and we got to make the most of each one of them.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck to you.
Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Upperman football on UCR. Located at 755 Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville, Gentry's Power Equipment is your local steel dealer. With a huge selection of outdoor power equipment, including chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, mowers, pressure washers, and more. They are your local one-stop shop for high-quality equipment. Locally owned and operated, Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to support Upperman Athletics and UCR.
What if opportunity was all in a day's work?
We find new ways to make vacation dreams a reality. And that inspires me to do my best work every single day.
What if you can make a real impact in people's lives with a team that cares? What I do matters, not just for guests, but for my team. We rely on each other each and every day. What if your work inspired fun and moved people?
We put the world on vacation. Our job is to make people happy. Inspiring travelers around the world to live their best lives never stops being fulfilling.
At Travel and Leisure, what if can be what is. Stop wondering. Join the travel movement. And start a career where memories start with you.
Watson Chevrolet is proud to present the area's best selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Watson Chevy's staff of experts are ready to get you into your next vehicle with unmatched service and knowledge. Stop in at 2350 Cookeville Highway and test drive the all-new Chevy Trax or Silverado today. And remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye. Watson Chevy is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the UCR Media Network.
The Quality Family, a local company supporting and caring for our local communities. The Quality Family offers services to get you back to the game. From bracing to oxygen and everything in between, we can meet your medical equipment needs with Buckeye Home Medical Equipment. If you have an in-home need for strength and conditioning, for example after a surgery or injury, Quality Home Health is available to provide individualized care while you are on the mend. For those with end-of-life diseases, Quality Hospice is available to provide nurturing care during those difficult times. Choose the Quality Family of Services for care within your community. Visit thequalityfamily.com to navigate all we have to offer you.
I work with Warren County Nursery here in McMinnville, Tennessee.
I'm very passionate about the hay because that's how I take care of my cows.
So I farm here with my dad.
We raise primarily corn, soybeans, and wheat.
By having that in my background and knowing what the customer expects, I know how to cater to the customer.
We're here to provide solutions for our customers.
Going through some of those challenging experiences help you understand maybe the position they're coming from.
Can I use your shower again? I can't find anyone to fix it over the weekend.
Yeah, but you should have just called my guy. Hey, Greg.
What's up, Luke?
Can you fix the shower today?
Absolutely. Even on Sunday? Of course. No one should go without water. That's why we're here for you. 24/7, 365.
You look ridiculous.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Sonia Brown is a full-service realtor and is licensed across the state of Tennessee, listing and selling residential and multifamily, land and farms, commercial and industrial properties. Sonia handles the sale from start to closing and beyond. Let her put her 30-plus years of experience to work for you. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate has been supporting student-athletes in the Upper Cumberland since 1990. You can reach Sonia Brown at 931-979-7145. Sonia Brown, realtor with American Way Real Estate, is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Welcome back. Moments away from kickoff here in Lebanon. We're waiting for the Blue Devils to come running through the L that the band has made out there on the field. Upperman hopes that's an omen for what Lebanon will take tonight. The Bees have emerged, and for Upperman, you say, man, they really don't have a lot of players on their roster. We'll remind you, Coach Kane's approach starting last year. One yellow school bus. If you're going to play, you get on the bus. If you're not, you stay at home, and we hope you enjoy the game watching on UCR. It's a business trip for Upperman, so there are more than that amount of players on the roster, but it will look very different across from the 6A Lebanon squad. And let's get to the Hall Sports and Outdoors starting lineups in this game. First for the hosting Lebanon Blue Devils on offense. From left to right on the offensive line, a senior Gabe Allen, a senior at left guard Giovanni Luna, a sophomore at center Brayson Bueller. The right guard is a senior, Blake Mofield. The right tackle, a senior, Sutton Hinesley. The tailbacks are Deuce Edwards, a senior, and C.J. Woodson. The receivers, the tight end, Abram Thompson. The receivers, Connor Jones, T.J. Searcy, Damian Calloway, and John Benyon. The starting quarterback for Lebanon in this game is a senior, Isaiah Mariah. On defense for the Blue Devils up front, it'll be Jawan Stafford. That is a player Upperman has had circled in this ball game. Quentin Moore and Jack Greer. Deontay Wilson, Shahel Simpkins, and Carter McPeak are the linebackers in the secondary. Jordan Jewell, Damian Calloway, Pierce Anderson, Gavin Gregory, and Jaden Stafford. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Hall Sports and Outdoors starting lineup for the Upperman Bees with a 1-0 record under head coach Adam Kane on the defensive side of the ball up front. A junior, Andrew Bohan. A senior, Tree Trunk, Caden Durham. And another senior, Zach Maynard. The linebackers, Colton Johnson, Walter Kane, and Tate Porath. They expect Ethan Polk to play more on defense than he did a week ago, still easing him back in after an off-season injury. They obviously want him healthy and ready to go next week against Macon County. In the secondary for Upperman, this is the strength of their defense. The starting corners are Carmine Phillips and Elijah Fitz, each juniors. And then on the back end, a sophomore Rover Jude Fitzpatrick. And the nickel is Theo Brown. The free safety is Cody Lowe. We will see a lot of gunner block as well on the back end of the defense tonight for Upperman. Offensively for a Bees team that scored 48 points last week, scored 28.7 points per game a year ago. From left to right on the offensive line, a senior, Zach Maynard, a junior, Andrew Bohan, the junior transfer from Cookville, Israel Alvarez, a senior, Caden Durham, and the right tackle is a sophomore, Parker Cox. The receivers are Branson Turnbow and Carmine Phillips. Colton Johnson is the tight end. Fullback, Walter Kane. Another receiver, Theo Brown, a senior, and the running back is the senior, Ethan Polk, and of course, the starting quarterback for the Bees, the junior, 6'4", 225 pounds, Bronsden Chaffin. All offseason, Jeremy, Bronsden Chaffin, you kept hearing about it. He's dominating, he's dominating, he's dominating. Looked great a week ago. Really seems like he's committed himself to being the Upperman Bees starting quarterback, trying to get his game to the next level. Taking visits to Vanderbilt, getting mail all the time from Middle Tennessee State University, Miami of Ohio. The list continues to grow for him. Upperman thinks he could have a big night tonight.
Yeah, me personally, I walk out on the field, and I've not seen him since the championship game in person, okay? I walk on the field. He's grown 3 or 4 inches. He looks huge. He's been in the weight room. He's gotten taller. Saw him warming up in warm-ups. His arm is stronger. Every measurable is better than last year, and he was a beast last year. So I'm super excited to watch him play tonight.
5 games live across the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network starting here over on UCR2. It's the White County Warriors already leading 13-0 over their rival Warren County. Trip Pinion with a pass to Gage Stevenson for a touchdown there. Over on UCR3, Cookeville with a 7-0 lead over Pure Academy. Over on UCR4, they started at 6:30, so they're well into the ball game with York taking on Grace Christian Academy. York trails 14-6 in the second quarter there. Over on UCR5, Livingston's about to win by 1,000 against Jenkins out of Kentucky. They already have a lead there, 9-0. I'm Noah McKay, joined by Jeremy Tollison. Hallie Ledbetter on the sideline, the lovely Madison McKay producing things for us once again. Happy to be here. Kurt Warren's in the box with us, as is Melinda Warren. Keeping stats for Upperman, one of the best in the business here. Lebanon in the blue jerseys, white pants, white helmets, with the blue accents. Upperman in the all-white Stormtrooper look. White jerseys, white pants, black numbers and letters, old school style. It's an exciting night for high school football. The temperature's starting to decrease. Lebanon's looking for revenge. Upperman's looking to make it 2 straight victories in just the second all-time meeting between these two schools. It's the high school football game of the week. We're happy to be along with you. Let's get it on in Lebanon. Opening kick is away. It's going to be a pooch kick. Elijah Fitz going to watch it bounce, and it goes out of play. So Upperman's going to have good field position here. Good officiating crew tonight, Jeremy. They're going to be tasked with keeping everything in play. Last week, Upperman, very disciplined. Very few penalties except at the very end where there was a little scuffle with Fayetteville. Lebanon, on the other hand, that game took 7 hours last week. There were so many penalties between them and Antioch.
Yeah, this crew know all 5 guys on the field. Fantastic crew. Probably 50 years of experience between them.
It is going to be Bronsden Chaffin leading his offense, and mentioned he was 6'4", 215. That means he was probably about 6'4", 205 last year. He looks every bit the part of 6'4", 225 to open up this campaign. They'll put it on the left hash. Expect to see a heavy dose of Chaffin and Polk in the passing game and the running attack tonight. Last week, they really struggled defending the quarterback run game with Antioch.
One of my keys to the game already is find number 9. Number 9, you have to find number 9.
Yeah, number 9 on that defensive side of the ball for Lebanon, Jawan Stafford. He is a Saturday player, no question about it. Bronsden Chaffin going to be in the gun. Trips out to the right side here. On the other side of the field, now they'll shift. Walter Kane across at the fullback spot. Polk in the backfield, and it's quarterback power. And there's a huge hole for Bronsden Chaffin. He's past the 45, and he's past midfield. Bronsden Chaffin on a run of 16 for a Baxter Pharmacy. And Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate, first down.
Now, I watched that first play. I want to watch number 9 on the very first play, and Zach Maynard absolutely dominated him on that first play. If they can push number 9 around like that tonight, it's going to be a long night for number 9. 65 absolutely bulldozed him 2 yards on the very first play.
Upperman already in Lebanon field position after one play, a 16-yard game. We welcome those of you listening on 106.1 The Eagle and live on the Hub Plus Roku app, channel 192 on Spectrum in Twin Lakes. Of course, on the UCR Facebook page, YouTube channel, Carrier Pigeon, wherever else you want to watch high school football as Coach Adam Kane calls timeout. Nobody quite doing it like we are here at UCR. We welcome our friends at Cookeville Communications being along with us here during the season. Appreciate Michael back in the studio, making sure we sound good on the airwaves. And for Upperman, if they can run the ball 15 yards a pop, they'll feel great. And one thing about it was, Coach Kane talked about it with Hallie. What level can this Upperman team get to? Last year's team, every time they needed to, they rose to the level of physicality needed. They know this game today takes a lot more than they had to offer a week ago. He's got to be happy after one play, but a lot of football to be played just 42 seconds in.
And I was going to give you my 3 keys to the game.
Please.
Number 1, find number 9. Okay. Number 2, we have to win the line of scrimmage. And number 3, we talked about it earlier, you cannot be looking to next week.
Absolutely. Macon County looming in a double feature game of the week. We will be in Baxter for Upperman Macon County, but also part 2 across the county, Cookeville Sparta. Both those teams look like they're going to be at 2-0 entering that game with how tonight has started. And now after a long break in the timeout, one receiver each way here. Upperman's already burned their first time out of the game. Adam Kane will not wait very long to use them. Branson Turnbow, he's wearing 1 this year instead of 10 last year. Motions across, snap taken. Bronston Chaffin's rolling to his right, fires across the middle. Receiver's there, and he makes the catch. He's hit and taken down, but not before a positive gain. Damian Calloway there as Colton Johnson, the sophomore. They really like him. Multi-sport athlete, very physical. We'll see him on defense. Him and Walter Kane in the middle, nasty. But it's a positive gain again. 2 plays, 24 yards of offense for Upperman as they're to the Lebanon 40-yard line. Big crowd tuning in on Facebook. Surprise, surprise. We're doing an Upperman game. Happy to be along with you tonight. Appreciate the sponsors for making it possible for us to be here. 2 receivers out to the left side. Branson Turnbow dominated Lebanon a year ago. They've got him circled. Snap taken, play fake, hand to Paulk for the first time, and he barrels forward. Needed 1, he got 3. It's another Baxter Pharmacy and Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate first down. And that's going to be Jack Greer, the junior defensive tackle there defensively for Lebanon. And that was something Coach Kane was curious about. Does this Lebanon front want to be blocked? And last week, they didn't really have to. It was a more finesse game with Antioch. Upperman, ain't much finesse happening with the Bees when they roll into town. 4 receiver set. Maybe the first time I've ever said that calling an Upperman game. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Chaffin has the snap, play fake, fires the screen out. Carmine Phillips with it to the 35. Behind the blocker, Elijah Fitz. Now jukes upfield to the 25. Breaks a tackle, and Carmine Phillips, we'll see where they spot it. It's close to the line to gain, and it looks like it is enough. There's the signal for another Baxter Pharmacy and Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate first down. Jordan Jewell there. We've already seen it, though, Jeremy, the weapons that Upperman has. Branson Turnbow still hasn't touched the ball. Paulk once, Chaffin once, Phillips once, Johnson once. They're mixing it up this year.
They are. They run 4 plays, 4 completely different style plays. They're throwing the playbook at Lebanon so far.
Cheerleader almost took a spill. Good job taking a catch. It was one of the youngsters out there getting thrown. 1 receiver each way. 9:25 to go in the first quarter. Just getting started. Motion man across his Fitz. Chaffin takes the snap. Play fake. Looking for the pump and go. It's not there, so he's going to tuck it and run. Now he reverses field. Here's Bronston Chaffin off script. Cuts up field at the 25. Chaffin going to get hit from behind to the 20. He was dead to rights in the backfield. Somehow wiggled around and gained about 6 yards. Jordan Jewell with his second tackle of the drive, but Upperman right on the doorstep of the Twin Lakes Catfish Farm and Baxter Family Dentistry Red Zone.
That just shows the athleticism of Chaffin right there. He's bottled up, pushes away from the tackler, rolls. I thought he was about to chunk it deep, but the receiver was covered. But it just shows the athleticism. And he's so big and still has that athleticism.
Score update, Livingston 22-0 over Jenkins. Told you it's going to be 1,000-0 if they want it to be. 2 receivers stacked out to the left side. It's 2nd down and 4 for Upperman. That was their shortest yardage of the game. Hand off to Paulk, breaks 1 tackle, and now runs into the teeth of the defense. Lebanon more ready for it that time, and for the first time, Upperman will face 3rd down. The extra effort got him 3, so it'll be 3rd and just 1. Quentin Moore, the senior nose tackle in there defensively for Lebanon. Upperman moving it. Lebanon trying to stall him out. Lebanon's defense was pretty good early a week ago against Antioch and then really fell apart in the second quarter of that game. Antioch's got a big-time recruit at quarterback.
And this is where we see which line's going to be more physical.
3rd down and 1. Chaffin trying to bark out orders to Branson Turnbow on the wide side. 8 on the play clock, has the snap. He's keeping it the whole way, and he's got the first down with ease. It's another Baxter Pharmacy and Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate first down.
One thing Lebanon's got to do right there is, we're going power. Upperman's going power. They've got 6 offensive linemen, or 6 linemen. Lebanon's got 4 defensive linemen and do not adjust to that at all. I'm telling you, if Coach Kane obviously sees that, he's going to go power all night, and you're going to get 5-6 yards of carry.
You said power all night, and Greenville had a flash of PTSD. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Upperman trying to punch it in again. 48 points a week ago. The offense in rhythm early in the season. They're moving it against the 6A front. Phillips in motion. Snap taken. Play fake. Chaffin's looking to throw wide open in the end zone. Walter Kane, give him 6. Touchdown, Upperman. He scored the first touchdown a week ago on a wheel. He does it again here, and it's 6-0 Bees.
And again, Lebanon, they're getting pushed around a little bit on the line of scrimmage, and they did. They brought in more defensive linemen there. It just shows how multidimensional that Upperman is. They can just they've got weapons all over the field.
Another passing touchdown for Bronsden Chaffin, this time to Walter Kane, the sophomore middle linebacker. Pardon me, the junior middle linebacker. I had to double check my math there. Snap, set, kick is up, plenty of leg, and it is good. Austin Roberts, the sophomore kicker, nails it through. It's 7-0 Upperman as they march right down the field, and that's an E.J. Barnes touchdown. Also presented by our friends at 931 Sports Cards and Collectibles. Again, during the game of the week, sometimes doubled up just a little bit there. Jeremy likes
I like
that
those
one.
guys. I like those guys at 931.
Good guys there. We'll keep it here for a moment here, Jeremy, instead of kicking it to break. That is as dominant as Upperman was a week ago, this time against the 6A front. Lebanon's offense, see what they've got, but that's exactly what Coach Kane wanted on the road.
You're going to script your few first plays, and it could not have went any better. One thing that I did not hear you say on a tackle the entire drive was number 9 on the tackle. It's obviously they've game planned for him. What they're doing so far is working. Number 9 has to get involved for Lebanon to be able to stop Upperman's offense.
We'll see Lebanon's offense for the first time, and I imagine Upperman is not going to kick it to Deuce Edwards. He returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, returned punts all over the yard. He was the reason it was 15-0 a week ago, the transfer from Mount Juliet. Antioch started just onside kicking it every time, and quite frankly, it completely stalled out Lebanon's offense a week ago. They scored just 7 points after that point. Roberts to kick it away right to left as you visualize it if you're listening on your radio dial. He's got the whistle and we're ready to go. And he is just going to pooch it. Edwards can get there. It's angling towards the sideline. Vertical hop and goes out of bounds. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 35, but again, trying to not allow Deuce Edwards to get loose on a big return. 6:57 to go in the opening quarter. It's Upperman 7, Lebanon 0. Happy to be along with you tonight. You can help us out if you're watching on Facebook. Hit that share button, hit like, love, react, comment along with us. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up, comment there as well, as the free kick out of bounds signal is given by one of the best officials that we've got in our area. And you got a score update there, Jeremy.
My guy, BR. Hey, snap over the head at Pure Academy. Cavs recover inside the 10. They go up 21-0.
That game was closer than it should have been a year ago. Cookeville was trying to start stronger than they did that year. They're closing in on 2-0 already as they'll reset the play clock. It took a while for the ball to get spotted there. First look here at Mariah, the quarterback. Isaiah Mariah, the senior, played a little bit at times last year. 2 receivers out to the left side here for Lebanon trying to answer. They trail 7-0 early on in this ball game. Motion 2-man across to the right side. Snap taken. Mariah's going to keep it himself on a keeper, and there is nowhere to run. He is grabbed by Alvarez. The cavalry arrives, and he is taken down. Upperman's front gets through. It's a loss of 3. And there is that big transfer, Isaiah Alvarez, who gets in there. Jude Fitzpatrick also collapses down. We've got Gunnar Block there at that free safety position at maybe 5'4". I talked to Coach Kane about him today. He said, listen, I love the kid. He's got great football instincts. You can't obviously let it be a mismatch out there, but he's always in the right place. Upperman adjusting on the front as it's 2nd and 13 here for the Blue Devils. Theo Brown is all the way up at the line of scrimmage, usually a defensive back. Late or early snap, quarterback not ready for it. Mariah is rolling out to his left, looking downfield, being pressured by Brown. He's being hit. He throws it away at the last second. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, and he is down. They will rule him in the grass and down for a big domino sack in the backfield. Huge loss on the play. Lebanon wasn't ready for the snap, and Theo Brown will be credited with the sack. And I think, I actually heard it, the official was blowing his whistle trying to help the quarterback from getting slung down there. I believe, Jeremy, if I can take your job for just half a second.
No, I believe so. And a job of officials is to protect the 2 quarterbacks. I mean, obviously, each offense runs through them. As an official, you absolutely have to protect your quarterbacks.
Now, would that be, because it didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, is that a rule in high school? Do you know if it had accredited the throwaway, wouldn't it have been intentional grounding anyway? I know in the NFL it would have been because it didn't get back to the line.
They did change that rule a few years ago. As long as he's outside the tackle box, they've got him in the grass with them starting the clock. However, it would need to get beyond the line of scrimmage, or it could have been intentional grounding.
Midway through the first quarter, it's a domino sack, and it's 3rd and Nashville geographically here for Lebanon. 3rd and 22. 2 receivers stacked each direction. Mariah takes the snap, dropping back, looking left, fires downfield, and it's tipped, nearly intercepted. Block and Phillips were each there defensively, and it's going to be a quick punt here for Lebanon. That was going to be a pick 6 potentially for the Bees.
If there were 2 footballs there, they each would have caught one. That's how that kind of works. Unfortunately, your eyes are up at the ball. You don't realize where your teammate's at. They collided.
Dreams start here for Upperman in this ball game. It's 7-0. Pretty dominant. We'll see how drive number 2 goes for them. A lot of football to be played. 5:44 to go. Don't forget Hallie Lebader's on the sideline. I'm looking right at her down there at the 20-yard line. She can hear me this year. That's fun. Punter has it. Not a very deep kick, but a very high kick, and it's going to angle down to the 45, takes an Upperman hop towards midfield, touchdown right at midfield, and a great field position here for the Bees. A 27-yard punt there for Lebanon. And it's 1st and 10, Upperman on the 50 as they try to get a 2-possession lead early on.
We talk about Upperman's offensive first drive is scripted, and it went to game plan perfectly. So did their first defensive possession as well. Right now, listen, the game is early, but if Lebanon lets Upperman just roll down the field again, Lebanon may be digging a really deep hole they can't crawl out of.
Upperman's defense a year ago allowing just 11.7 points per game, and quite frankly, that number greatly inflated by the state championship game with Pearl Cone. And most of the time, it was single digits for opponents. 2 receivers out to the left side. Bronston Chaffin has the shotgun snap, play fake, looking to throw it into the flat. He's got Carmine Phillips. He's at the 45, and he gives a little second effort down to the 41.5. It's going to be 2nd down and 1 for the Bees. And right now, Upperman, they've done it. I don't think they've called the same play twice early in this game. We've seen them a lot just go power, power, counter, power. This year, they feel like they've got enough weapons. They can really spread it around the yard. Really interested on the defensive side with Upperman putting Theo Brown on that defensive line, seeing something on tape, kind of walking him down to that robber star position. Tighten it up the formation a little bit. 2 receivers to the left. 2nd down and 1 for Chaffin and the Bees. He has the shotgun snap. Going to hand off to Paulk. The senior Paulk barrels through tackler, spins, still on his feet, dives forward to the 32. And it's a Baxter Pharmacy. And Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate. 1st down for the Bees. Ethan Paulk, 2nd carry of the game. And that's something else they want to do by mixing it up, Jeremy, keeping Ethan Paulk fresher for longer in games and throughout the season.
I'll tell you what, if Simpkins hadn't grabbed Ethan Paulk's shoestring there, he's breaking loose for another 15, 20 yards. Luckily tripped him up.
First down and 10 here for Upperman. They're all the way to the Lebanon 33-yard line as they are moving the ball with relative ease early on in this ball game. No negative plays yet. Snap taken to Chaffin. He's going to keep it himself around the left side. He darts out of bounds. Little shove, but he stays up. And we've got a flag down, and Jeremy's signaling the hold. It's going to be a hold going against the Bees here. So this is going to back him up. First negative play is a self-inflicted wound. Elijah Fitz looked like he may have gotten a handful of jersey out there, Jeremy.
Or potentially a bear hug.
Is that not legal? Sometimes it happens.
If you get away with it. If you're chasing bears, maybe, but not in high school football. Yeah. They did call a block in the back.
I can't believe I've said this. A block in the back is the call. I haven't said this yet on behalf of Justin.
Oh, no.
Go Vols. You agree with that?
No, I'm good with that. We're leaving in the morning. Me and Easton are going at 7 o'clock in the morning. We're going down for the Vol Walk, the Banks tailgate. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's
awesome.
Go.
Going to send 2 receivers out to the left side here. Chaffin in the gun. Motion man across is Phillips. 1st and long. Chaffin keeps it himself. Blockers in front. Gets caught carrying defenders forward, and now it's a big pile up. A gain of about 6, maybe 7, and it'll bring up 2nd down and long here as they try to erase the penalty yards. But the clip Upperman's gone at so far, it's not insurmountable, that 1st and 20 they just found themselves in.
Yeah, Lebanon's defense has also brought in an extra defensive tackle on this drive, so they realize they've got to get a little beefier on the line of scrimmage to have any chance to stop this Upperman offense.
Jackson Rollins tuning in. He's, of course, key cog of that state championship game team a year ago. And now, Gunnar Block checks in at wide receiver, and there's a interesting size disparity. Theo Brown at 6'4" or so, and now Coach Gentry calling out orders as Bromsden Chaffin keeps it himself. He cuts upfield. He's to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe just behind it. It'll be 3rd and about 10 here for Upperman, but they're at the 33, so this is 4-down territory. They're not looking for all of it, probably coming up here on 3rd down. And they do give him right to the original line of scrimmage at that 33. So 3rd and 10 here on the dot.
Double team right there on number 9. Like you said in the pregame, Coach Kane's watched the film. They know what number 9 can do. They came in with a game plan, and thus far are executing that beautifully.
Yeah, Jawan Stafford last week, he broke through for a safety. It was a Sunday play. Just swim, move, 2 different blockers, and crush the quarterback. Chaffin has the shotgun snap, going to hand off to Polk again. This time Lebanon more prepared for it. He gets to about the 29. Make it the 30. He's down there. Quentin Moore defensively. 4-down territory for Upperman. Big play here for Lebanon as they try to settle into this contest. It's 4th down and 7. Upperman needs the 23-yard line to convert. Only negative play so far for the Bees came on a block in the back, but it has stalled this drive to this point.
A quick update from White County. Trip Pinion with a 10-yard touchdown run. White County is leading Warren County 27-0.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Lone man, Branson Turnbow. He hasn't touched the football yet. Chaffin takes a snap, play fake, being pressured. Jump pass over the middle. Walter Kane is hit, and he's going to be taken down. Short of the line to gain. Big stand there for Lebanon as they capitalize on the penalty. And it's going to be 1st and 10 Blue Devils. Not great field position. They're on their own 26-yard line. Their first drive went backwards. They'll be looking for better. Here is it still just 7-0. And
go ahead.
Austin Harrison there defensively. Walter Kane, 2 catches. He's going to be a factor in the passing game, especially down here in the red zone for the Bees. But the turnover on downs gives the Blue Devils new life.
And you don't want to say this early in the game. We're not even in the second quarter yet. But that play by Lebanon completely gives them a chance. You know, if Upperman punches it in there, this game could have been over.
Mariah, the quarterback, he's got 1 receiver split out each way. Motion man comes across into the backfield. Low snap, he has it, going to hand off. Back, cuts up through the middle. He'll be cut down after a gain of about 5, maybe 6 yards. Gets a good spot out there. There he is, Deuce. Harrison Edwards, he goes by Deuce. We'll call him Deuce. It's going to be 2nd down, and we'll say, they mark it off, it'll be 2nd and 3 upcoming here for Lebanon on a positive gain. And that's Gunnar Block, who comes up to make the tackle defensively from that free safety spot.
I'll tell you, his dad played at Upperman years ago, too, and was a fantastic football player for Upperman.
Snap taken, going to hand off again. New back, this time crunched at the line of scrimmage, nothing doing, and Upperman will push him back, maybe half a yard. Big 3rd down play upcoming here for the Lebanon Blue Devils. That time they hand it off to number 11. That's John Benyon, the junior, listed as a wide receiver, lines up in the backfield there. And we want to say thank you to the administration here at Lebanon, right here in an air-conditioned box, big time. Appreciate that. Tate Porath there defensively for Upperman on the tackle.
And I didn't say this earlier, but this campus in Lebanon is just beautiful. It's such a beautiful campus.
First class, 6A facility. Every time we come here, we got no issues at all. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Motion man is Edwards. Mariah takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Bounces to the left. He's hit hard, pushed back, but he has enough for a Blue Devils 1st down. The pile forces forward, but they'll blow him down after a gain of 4. First down of the game for Lebanon. We don't have to have another play. 21 seconds left on the clock. It's Tree Trunk, Caden Durham there defensively. And why do they call him Tree Trunk? 5'9", 300 pounds at that nose guard spot. 14 seconds, and it looks like we will not. And Coach Gentry's calling his players over. That'll do it at the end of the first quarter. It's Upperman 7, Lebanon 0. This is the high school football game of the week presented by Gentry's Power Equipment. And you're listening to it and watching it on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Live Oak Insurance and Financial is home to your trusted local insurance professionals. Their experts are here to provide guidance and options to fit your home, life, health, and business insurance needs. And with the Medicare enrollment period coming soon, they're here to answer your questions. Call 931-367-5483 to set up an appointment today. Live Oak Insurance and Financial is proud to sponsor student athletes in the Upper Cumberland and this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate proudly presents this home on Meadow Road in Cookeville. With 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, this beautiful brick ranch could be your forever home. Call 931-979-1191 for more information and to schedule a showing, or visit ChadandAmyCrouch.com. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Hey guys, it's Jason Fires, General Manager of the Watson Chevrolet. You're watching the high school football game of the week on the Watson Chevrolet UCR Media Network.
Welcome back as we enter the second quarter. Lebanon's first play is a tunnel screen to the outside. Deuce Edwards makes the catch. He was one broken tackle away from scoring. Instead, it's just a gain of 9 as Upperman rallies to the attack. They're moving him around out there. He's their best athlete by a mile here for the Blue Devils. They just got a first down, and now they've got a 2nd and 2 as they try to tie the game on this possession.
And there you see a difference in 6A versus 4A is Lebanon brings in 5 subs to rotate and keep players fresh.
That was something Coach Kane was concerned about entering this game. 1 receiver each way. 30 seconds into the second quarter. Motion man into the backfield is Edwards again. Mariah, the senior quarterback, has the snap. Going to hand off to him. He barrels forward, then runs into a stiff defensive line. The pile pushes forward. It's going to be enough on a gain of a couple for a Lebanon first down. Back-to-back first downs for them as they're to their own 48.
And that's what Lebanon's looking for. You know, they need to be physical at the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 upcoming here. 11:15 to go in the second. Not a gigantic crowd tonight here for Lebanon. Upperman, as always, they brought a lot. Last week in Fayetteville, the grandstands were full. If that were those same stands, they'd be full tonight as well. It looks like Upperman brought their band this evening. Good to see. 1st and 10 upcoming here. Welcome all of you watching. Tonight's broadcast presented by our friends at Gentry's Power Equipment. We appreciate them for being the presenting sponsor of Upperman football all season long. Of course, we stream all Upperman games as the snap's taken. Going to hand off up the middle to the tailback. Breaks through 1 tackle and then is crunched forward. Physical in Lebanon running the football very effectively on this drive so far. It's a gain of 7.
Hey, Noah, I got a question. I know I'm new to UCR, but I don't know what you allow us as employees of UCR to do. But Kason Allen has posted that he's supporting the Bees from Turks and Caicos and didn't know if by chance maybe you guys could get me a trip to Turks and Caicos or.
Yeah, it's a good question. No. That's the answer. Yeah, no.
Well, Kason, I apologize. I was going to come hang out with you, but here we are.
I would love to. I mean, you could make that work. We need a little loan to make that happen as the Lebanon Blue Devil is down and injured on the field being tended to. I want to also welcome a few of our new sponsors here at UCR. Live Oak Insurance and Financial, one of our Game of the Week sponsors. Also the Quality family. 4 different companies all coming together under one branch of the Quality family. Quality Home Health, Quality Private Duty Care, Buckeye Home Medical Equipment, and Quality Hospice Care. We appreciate them for being along with us here. Also during the summer, so we didn't get a chance to shout them out, Eminence Eagle Auction and Realty. Appreciate them for being along with us. And, of course, all of our returning sponsors over the years. Couldn't do any of this without them. 5 games live. Another opportunity to tell you, stick around. Coming up later on tonight, the Friday Night End Zone Show. There's a few fun things planned, some of which I may not even know about. Others may not even know about. It could be the most chaotic thing we've ever done. I really am relinquishing the reins of the End Zone Show, and I have no clue what's going to happen with it, and I'm slightly terrified, but it's probably going to be a fun time nonetheless on a Friday night. The injured Blue Devil making his way off the field. That's big number 56, Gabe Allen, the senior offensive and defensive lineman. 2nd down and 3 here. Chuck Gentry going to be happy with how this drive has started for his team. They're moving the ball on the ground. Isaiah Mariah, the quarterback, come out, motions everybody across the line. Now here comes Edwards across as well. Little sweep to him, and he is cut down. Taken down in the backfield, shooting through is Tate Porath, a big-time play there. And actually, that's Ethan Polk, 21 instead. It's Polk, and I mentioned he's going to get more playing time on defense. He reads it, shoots through, and that's a big tackle on the play.
Just really good recognition on that play. Stopping that jet sweep, unbelievable play.
And that turns it from what would have been 3rd and 3 if it's a no-game play. Now it's 3rd and 9, so very different part of the playbook here for Coach Gentry. Of course, was offensive coordinator at Cookeville before coming here to Lebanon. Had some good success here. They were the number 3 ranked team in the state just a couple of years ago before running into Oakland, and Coach Gentry's going to want to talk about it here. Big play upcoming. Lebanon had kind of withstood the early push for Upperman. They were on a nice drive, then that big play by Ethan Polk to make the tackle, and now they're looking for a way to at least make this 4th and short so they could go for it.
They need to, but one advantage Upperman has right now is they don't fear them passing the ball. We just haven't seen anything downfield. Right now, you can almost, kind of like Polk on that play, you can almost sell out right now because all they're doing is running the ball. Until Lebanon can prove that they can throw the ball, Upperman's got a huge advantage.
It's starting to cool off a little bit outside. It was a very hot day. We're down to 83 degrees, 81 degrees now. We'll be in the 70s by the time it's over. Talking about the Vol game tomorrow. Heat index over 100 at Neyland Stadium. We talked about going. I know you said you're going out there, and then I realized it was there. So I'm going to go watch Tennessee Tech MTSU tomorrow night there in Murfreesboro. 2 brand new head coaches. Excited that college football is back.
Got my season tickets for Tennessee Tech football the other day.
There you go.
Very excited.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left here. Mariah in the shotgun. 3rd down and 9. Snap taken. He's rolling out to his right. Ethan Polk shooting towards him. He throws on the run, and it's short. Had a man in the soft spot of the zone. Upperman running that cover 3, but it falls incomplete, and Chuck Gentry sends the punting unit back out for the 2nd time.
Yeah, Callaway's open on that play. If there's a good throw, if he doesn't just kind of short-arm the ball short, Callaway's probably catching that ball for a 1st down.
Carmine Phillips back deep to receive this kick. Theo Brown angling back maybe to join him here. Punting unit on for Lebanon. The last one was a 27-yard kick. It was very high in the air, though, made it not returnable at all. Phillips is all the way back on his own 10. Theo Brown on the 30. And it is a punt. That is away. This one much better. Spinning. Phillips calls for the fair catch and makes it. We 1st and 10 Upperman on their own 14-yard line. Worst field position for either team so far in this one. 9:37 to go in the 1st quarter. We'll get you some score updates coming up momentarily here as all these games are going.
Score update from Cookeville. Pure Academy has a scoop and score, scores 21-8. And you said it, into the 1st quarter. If this score holds tight into the 1st quarter, Livingston is going to win 140-0.
It's 35-0.
It's 35-0 after 1.
And then Livingston is playing Jenkins out of Kentucky, which may be historically the worst high school football program in the entire United States. Low snap. Bronston Chaffin goes back for it. Looking downfield, he just chucks it. And the receiver is there. Did Theo Brown catch that? He did not. Bronston Chaffin was nearly going to get tackled for a safety. Throws it up, and Theo Brown had a chance at the 30, but couldn't come up with it along the sideline. It's 2nd and 10. Chaffin was not ready, did not call for that snap when it came out.
I agree. It also shows the arm strength of Chaffin there, being able to throw the ball that far, not setting his feet, throwing the ball that far. Dangerous pass, though.
Thought it was going to go to Carmine Phillips, who was kind of underneath at the 20, and it just kept going. Theo Brown came back towards it. 2nd and 10 here for an Upperman offense that hasn't really stalled. It was just a penalty that put him way behind the sticks. Snap is taken. Play fake. Fires the quick hitter to the outside. Catch is made. Broken tackle. The cavalry is there. Is Lebanon flying to the football well? Gain of just 2 on the play. 3rd down and 8. This is not where Upperman wants to be tonight. Nice job by Jordan Jewell again, making another tackle. He's had several already in this ball game. Got to credit Lebanon right now. They've done a very nice job. Now they're trying to fire up their home fans.
And again, Lebanon wins the toss to start the game and defers to the second half. So if they can hold Upperman from scoring and maybe even get some points before halftime, huge momentum swing for Lebanon.
Big 3rd and 8 play here. Block and Brown out to the right side. Turnbow to the left. Still has not been targeted yet. Snap taken. Won't be this time. Chaffin rolls out, throws a jump pass. Theo Brown is there, and he makes the catch. Bronston Chaffin rolls out and jumps, throws it in the air Tim Tebow style on an out route to Theo Brown. It's a gain of about 15 and enough for Asanya Brown with American Way Real Estate and Baxter Pharmacy, first down. He is incredibly gifted. Jeremy, that is not a throw most people can make.
You can't coach that. You just can't coach it. Either you have it or you don't, and this kid has it.
Still yet to see Branson Turnbow. He's working his way back in. He was a little bit dinged up in the offseason. It's big time for Upperman that he's even playing at this point. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Chaffin in the gun. Takes the snap. Going to hand off to Paulk. Paulk barrels up through the line. Nicely defended there for Lebanon. Gain of maybe 1.5 yards. Second down upcoming here.
Lebanon's brought in Deion Mills as an extra defensive lineman, and listen, he's in there getting his nose dirty, making a few plays. Really impressed with this kid. Not in the starting lineup, but they realized they needed a little bit more push from the defensive line, and he's coming into play.
3 receivers to the right as Upperman continues to change up the formations here. 7 on the play clock for Bronston Chaffin. Man walks down to the line. Chaffin's going to keep it himself. Cuts up through the middle of the field. He carries defenders forward. Bronston Chaffin with a physical run of 9 yards, and it's more than enough for a Baxter Pharmacy. And Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate first down. Baxter Pharmacy, long-running sponsor here. It's been the Baxter Pharmacy first down for the Bees for years. Pharmacist Lena Huddleston Jarrett is your hometown pharmacist, located right at the crossroads, maybe 1/10 of a mile from Upperman High School. We appreciate them, as I'm sure all of you do as well. And by the way, really nice shop in there as well. They've got some Upperman gear, all sorts of stuff there, so keep that in mind. 3 receivers out to the right side. 7:25 to go in the second. Hard count. Bronston Chaffin's got one of the best in the game. Lebanon starts to jump. They hold back. 8 on the play clock as Chaffin gets the check. 4. Now he sets. Has the snap. Going to hand off again to Ethan Paulk. This time a big push for the offensive line as he gets to the 45. It's a gain of 5. And for Upperman, against a 6A front, 5 yards a pop, that'll work for them.
One unique formation there, and they've ran it the last 2 times, is Branson Turnbow's actually covered in the slot there. And usually what you try to do there is get the defender to come out, guard him for the pass, slip something on the other side. But haven't seen that all game, but the last 2 plays, they're purposely covering their slot receiver.
Trips out to the right again on the 45. Upperman bleeding clock now, 6:40 to go in the second quarter. Chaffin has the shotgun snap. Going to hand off to Paulk again. Ethan Paulk starting to rumble. Breaks a tackle. He's past midfield. He's past the 45. Stiff arm to the 40. Ethan Paulk with a physical run. A gain of about 21 yards. And it's another Baxter Pharmacy. And Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate, first down.
And I talked about that formation, and what do they do on that play? They bring Turnbow into the backfield, show him a little eye candy, and then all of a sudden hit Paulk.
Ethan Paulk. Again, him and Turnbow getting healthy out there, and you can see the legs starting to come back to Paulk. Made the big play on defense. That changed the last drive, and now he's got Upperman to the 34-yard line, working left to right as you envision it if you're listening online or on the radio, 106.1 The Eagle. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Chaffin in the empty set. Has the snap. Going to fire quickly to the out route. Hits Phillips in the flat. Phillips is crunched down after a gain of 4 or 5. It'll be second down upcoming here for the Bees as they hit the quick hitter to Carmine Phillips. And that's why they wear pads. It's not exactly flag football.
It is
like
not.
We coach.
Season's over, unfortunately.
It is. A successful year for both of us.
Absolutely.
Had different age groups, though, so we couldn't have the
battle royale, but it's okay.
I would have liked to see it anyway this year. The 8 and 9-year-olds, they got it together. 2 receivers each way. Second down and 6. Chaffin, again, empty. Has the snap. This time he's going to keep it himself up the middle, and he gets hit down. Upperman, and Chaffin gets up talking that talk. Jack Greer there defensively got the shoestrings. Also there at the end, Austin Harrison and Chaffin were going back and forth. It's 3rd down and 3 and 4 down territory for Upperman. They're on the Lebanon 27-yard line with 5:20 to go in the first half. Score update: DeKalb County leads Smith County 14-0 in Carthage. Goose is there tonight. Feature game on UpperCumberlandReporter.com. Highlight video, photos, and stories coming from the hole tonight. Three receivers to the left. Polk in the backfield now with Chaffin. Snap taken. Chaffin going to keep it himself again. Now jukes upfield. What a move for Bronston Chaffin. He wiggles upfield, breaks another tackle, and then a shoestring attempt gets him down. If he breaks that one, it's 6. Instead, it's just a Baxter Pharmacy. And Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate first down.
Let me tell you something. Tez Neal saved a touchdown. Just a great open field tackle. With you, I thought Bronston was going to the corner of the end zone. Tez Neal with a shoestring touchdown-saving tackle.
This is a prototypical Upperman drive. They started all the way back on their own 14. They are moving down the field primarily through the running game. Ethan Polk, Bronston Chaffin shouldering the low with a few passes mixed in there. Phillips and Turnbow to the left. Now they're going to motion Phillips across. Snap taken. Hand off to Polk after a fake, and Polk is cut down. Very nice tackle made. Coming up, shooting through to bring him down. And I mentioned his name just a moment ago. It is Austin Harrison. He was the one talking to Bronston Chaffin. That's one of the best run stuffs of the game for Lebanon. 2nd down and 9.
And we're noticing Lebanon's physicality. I'm very impressed with that. I expected Upperman maybe to push them around a little bit more than they are, but they're answering the bell.
Much bigger front than Upperman had to face a week ago against Fayetteville. No doubt about it. 2 receivers to the left here. 2nd down and 9. Motion man across his Fitz this time. Play fake for Chaffin. Going to keep it himself with a big hole. Jukes upfield. Trying to strip him from behind. Good luck. He gets a death grip on the football. Depends on the spot. Looks like he's maybe just a hair short, but they will check. I'm not known for my eyesight, even with the glasses this year. And it looks like it's going to be 3rd down and 1 here. Pierce Anderson there defensively from that rover spot.
Hey, one thing we're noticing, too, is Lebanon is able to bring in subs, so their defense is a little fresher than Upperman's offense.
3rd down and 1 here for Upperman, who is now turning the clock on a long drive. It started all the way back on their own 14. They're on the Lebanon 12 now. Chaffin with the snap. Play fake. Going to throw it, and that one's tipped. He was looking for Phillips, who was open in the flat. But now it's 4th and 1, and there's no question about it. They're going to keep the offense on the field. Jordan Jewell there defensively with the SWAT. Here comes Walter Kane into the game to play fullback. The only question here is it going to be Bronston or Ethan Polk that keeps the ball on this play on 4th and 1?
Nostradamus, where are we going? Where are we going?
If they throw the football here, I think this is going to be a big number 8. Rumbling forward behind the line.
I agree with you.
This is the, remember the play that Ice did at Greenville. Ethan Polk running in front, right behind Walter Kane. Let's see. 1 receiver each way. It sure is. There goes Chaffin. He has the first down with that 6'4" frame. And it's a gain of 2. And it's interesting, Jeremy, as we go under 3 to play in the first half. The quarterback Rollins from Elizabethton back in 2021, they ran that play over and over and over again, and he was 6'4". He'd always fall forward. Upperman didn't have a quarterback that size at the time, but that has no doubt stayed in Coach Kane's mind. Such a weapon on those 3rd and 4th and short plays. And now Upperman's at the 10. They are into the Baxter Family Dentistry, who we appreciate being back for another year as a sponsor here, and Twin Lakes Catfish Farm Red Zone. 1st and goal from the 10. So as much as you can get in a 1st and goal situation. 2.5 to play in the first half and ticking. Handoff goes to Polk. Polk breaks 1 tackle. He's down to the 6. Looks like they're going to spot him down actually at the 7. And this has been a long drive. Started fairly early in the 2nd quarter, and they're all the way down to 2 minutes before this next play will be snapped. And that's going to prompt Coach Chuck Gentry to call timeout. He wants a chance for his offense to go 2 for 1. He has 2 remaining, so now just 1 after this timeout. And these are the kinds of drives that Coach Kane loves, pounding the rock over and over and over again. Score updates from around the area. Blake Owen with a keeper for Cookeville over on UCR 3 tonight. They lead 28-8 over Pure Academy. Cavs trying to get to 2-0 before they will face off against an equally 2-0 because they are rolling over Warren County right now, White County Warriors team, and what will be a Game of the Week double feature next week. The main page will have Macon County and Upperman in a huge Region 4 4A showdown over on UCR 2 with Jacob and Coach Shanks on the call, I believe. I know it's Jacob. It's going to be Cookeville and Sparta. We couldn't decide. Both equally huge games.
And we talk about rivals. In my mind, no bigger rival than Cookeville Sparta. And, you know, as it looks, both 2-0, huge ball game. But I'll tell you, in the last several years, this Macon County Upperman game has just turned into something fierce.
Over on UCR 4, Logan Pennell with a score for York as they are cut into Grace Christian's big lead. It's now 27-14 GCA. 8 minutes to play in the third quarter there in the Eastern time zone. Jacob and Coach Shanks on the call there. One receiver each way. Chaffin going to be in the gun with Paulk on his right. It's 2nd and goal from the 7 out of the timeout. Snap taking, going to keep it himself. Bronston Chaffin gets to the edge, and he's to the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Upperman. 6'4", 225, and the burst to the goal line.
And again, you got to give credit to the Upperman offensive line there. I mean, he's not even touched. He's not even touched. The Upperman offensive line is really impressive.
He's going to play Division I football somewhere, and Bronston Chaffin leads a very impressive scoring drive. 86 yards, and it burns over 6 minutes off the clock. Roberts on for the extra point. 6-yard touchdown rush. The last extra point was much better than anything we saw last week for the young kicker who's getting his footing out there. See if the announcer jinx is real tonight. Snap, set, good hold. The kick is up. Not as good, but it may have had enough. It did. It's through, and it's good. 2:04 to go in the first half. Upperman's lead is 14-0. This is the high school football game of the week presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
All Sports and Outdoors in Jamestown is the Upper Cumberland's best sporting goods store. From cleats to camping supplies and everything in between, this family-owned store has it all. All Sports and Outdoors is proud to support our community, including student athletes throughout the Upper Cumberland. Stop in at 207 South Main Street or visit their website at hall42.com. All Sports and Outdoors is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Let the bidding begin. It's time for the show, and you know it's gonna go high. There's a buzz in the air, and people come from everywhere to hear the auctioneer cry. The sound of the gavel never gets old when you hear an EJ say so. Live or online, we handle auctions of any kind.
Call Aminette's Eagle Auction at 526-5335, where we soar higher.
Upperman with a 14-0 lead over Lebanon here on the road in the high school football game of the week. Roberts' kickoff is away, and they're going to kick it to Deuce Edwards. They're going to test him. He can make him pay. Cuts up field, and he will not this time. Upperman hip to it. Take him down at the 32-yard line, where Lebanon will have one timeout in 1 minute and 56 seconds to try and go 2 for 1. They'll get the ball to start the second half as well. Upperman has 2 timeouts in their back pocket if they want to be aggressive here. We welcome you in. I'm Noah McKay. Jeremy Tollison here. Hallie Ledbetter. We'll talk to her during the sideline or during halftime on the sideline. Easy for me to say. Madison McKay producing things for us. Here for UCR. Happy to be along with you this evening. Week number 2, and it's going much smoother across our network. Thank God. I'm a little less stressed this week.
Let's go.
4 receivers out to the left side, 1 to the right. 5 receivers set here for Lebanon. Working right to left on your screen. Mariah, the quarterback, going to throw the quick hitter, the screen, and he dropped it. Edwards couldn't come up with it. It was a forward pass. Ranson Turnbow says no, but the officials disagree. And it's still 152. Upperman has a chance if they can get a couple of stops here to get the ball back and try and add on.
Again, we've not seen Lebanon's offense throw the ball downfield much. They had the one pass that short hopped the receiver, but they've got to be a little more aggressive downfield.
2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Upperman with weapons on the outside, though. Maybe the strength of their defense. Mariah takes the snap. He's dropping back, looking underneath. a delayed screen potentially. Instead tries to throw it out, and it's incomplete, and Upperman's going to have a great chance. 1:47 to go in the half. 2 incompletions, and it's 3rd and 10. If Upperman gets a stop here, watch out.
Again, the only 2 passes we've seen go downfield, they both fall short. No offense to Mariah, but, I mean, you see Chaffin make those throws. He's got the arm strength. Mariah's got to step into that throw a little bit more.
Yeah, Upperman's had the quarterback advantage so far in this one. Big 3rd down here for Lebanon. They need to convert. Trips to the left. Upperman going one-on-one on the outside. Snap taken. Going to hand off. Edwards looking for the outside. There goes Deuce. He wiggles out. He's cut down, and he is short. And he went out of bounds. Upperman saves their timeout with 1:39 to go. I believe that's what they're marking. Out of bounds, not the timeout. We'll wait and see. He is definitely short, though. He's at the 40. And it's going to be 4th down, 1.5 yards, 2 yards. And Chuck Gentry, for now, is leaving the offense on the field, if nothing else, for a hard count. See if they can get Upperman jumping. It's 4th down and 2 for Lebanon. Offense on the field. If they don't get this, ooh. On their own 40, they break the huddle. Again, could just be a hard count. We'll wait and see. Upperman outnumbered over to our side of the field. There's the hard count. Nobody moves. And Chuck Gentry calls timeout. You imagine he's going to punt this one, Jeremy.
And he has to. You don't want to give the ball back to Upperman on offense, but you don't have a choice with this field position, I'm sorry.
So you think about how this game has gone so far. Lebanon moved the ball on 1 possession a little bit down the field. Ultimately, though, stalled out on a big 2nd down play by Ethan Polk. Upperman, the only negative play they've had on offense all night was the penalty that stalled out the drive. They're 2 for 3 so far, and they're going to have another opportunity, it appears, with about 90 seconds left to try and go add on.
So far, especially offensively, this is just turning into textbook Upperman football. Just textbook Coach Kane football is just plays all over the field, and then whenever you feel like you've got the advantage, just to pound the rock, you pound the rock.
I see Easton over there talking to Hallie on the sideline. Poor Hallie.
I agree with you.
I mean, it's really tough.
I didn't even want to let him ride with me, but it is what it is.
He's got a Mickey Mouse flag football ring that he likes to show off. It's fake. It costs $5. And Upperman is not even defending the punt. They want to be sure. They have a normal defense out there despite the punter being on the field. And Lebanon is going to punt this one away. Booming kick. Nobody back deep for the Bees. Very good roll. It's going to go all the way inside the 10. And they will be touched down at nearly the 5-yard line. Great punt there with nobody deep for Upperman. 1:27 to go. The Bees have 2 timeouts, but they're 95 yards away. See how aggressive they are with a 14-0 lead. Probably going to see a couple of runs to see if they can get some yards and go from there. But I think if you're Coach Kane, you're thinking, worst case scenario, you're going into halftime with a 14-0 lead. You don't want to do anything to put that at risk.
Completely agree with you. I think, like you said, going to see just a couple of simple plays. If you happen to get lucky, so be it. If not, you're happy to go into the locker room up 14-0.
Score update, Grace Christian strikes back. They lead 33-14 over York. 3:56 to go in the third quarter there. Grace Christian's got a completely new coaching staff in there, a former UT Vol, big-time quarterback as well, and they look the part this year so far. Rolled last week, rolling right now.
I know this is going to shock you. Livingston scored again.
That's not surprising at all. That's, 1st and 10 Bees. They're on their own 6-yard line. Just went 84 yards, but they had a bit more time to do it. We have not seen the deep post to Branson Turnbow yet. I don't think we've seen it either week so far. The one that has a blooper from Justin on a coach's show talking about it. And now we have some confusion.
I think Coach Kane's wanting a little time put back on the clock. It looked like a couple seconds may have ran off the clock.
It did. It was at 1:26, and now it's at 1:20. And
with no play ran.
Coach Kane is coming to the question of. And we'll see. And now the officials are going to confer and talk about it.
Yeah, I talked about the experience of the officials. I know that the clock operator tonight, it's his first year, okay? And I'm not blaming him. Hey, listen, I was terrible when I started. I wasn't much better when I finished. But, they need officials. They need officials coming into the fold. Appreciate this young man. It's his first year, his second high school game running the clock. Mistakes happen.
And the coaches are taking this as a timeout. It is not a timeout, so they're going to get them back there on the field. 120 is what it says right now. We think it should be about 126. But it has not changed yet. And I think it's about to, as we're going to have somebody with a headset to be able to talk up here to the booth. Stick around during the Happy Hiller halftime show. We'll talk about this first half, of course, preview the second, but we'll go around the state, talk about some games from outside of our area briefly as we look at the scoreboard. Some interesting games. Not the greatest slate in the Upper Cumberland this week, just to be honest with you, as you've seen a lot of blowouts this week, but some good matchups across the state. We can talk about some of those during the Happy Hiller halftime show. One receiver each way here for the Bees. Bronston Chaffin in the gun. It's still 1:20 to go as they're going to keep it with Chaffin. He jukes to the outside. There's a lot of room to run. He's past the 20. He tiptoes down the sideline. Bronston Chaffin stayed in bounds. It's a foot race. 30, 20, 10, 94 yards. Bronston Chaffin. There's a flag down, so we'll wait and see. It's way back on the 15, and there is one lineman for Upperman who is still back. Chaffin somehow stayed in bounds, but maybe something at the end sprung him as he passed that first down marker, and it's a hold against the Bees. And he showed some breakaway speed for 96 yards, and it's all for naught.
Honestly, it is ridiculous how athletic he is. One thing, I have seen his arm. I have seen him, just his power running. That's the first play that I have seen his speed. And I'll be honest with you, I had no idea he could run like that.
He just left a few 6A defensive backs in the dust on that
Some
one.
people just have it all.
He ran away. It's not me.
Golly.
I'm not one of them. I got his height, and that's the end of the sentence.
I tell people the only thing that kept me from playing college football was talent.
Yeah, that's true. Me too. I'm right there with you.
Other than that, I was in.
Talent for me, IQ. I mean, it's a whole bunch of stuff that limited my ability. 1:03 to go. That play took 17 seconds. It's first down and 8, 10 yards from the spot of the foul on that hold, so it did occur down the field. I thought he was going to be pushed out of bounds, and he somehow tiptoed the sideline, but it was all for naught, and it took him a long time to get back. He smartly did not jog back, and I imagine this ball is probably going to go into the gut of Ethan Polk.
Exactly. It's going to the tailback.
He just did a wind sprint down the field. Bronston Chaffin back in the shotgun, takes a deep breath, has the snap, and he is going to hand off to Polk. Polk breaks a tackle. Polk rumbles forward. Depends on the spot. 57 seconds, and they are going to blow it dead to see if it's a first down, and it is going to be enough for Asanya Brown with American Way Real Estate and Baxter Pharmacy. First down. Pierce Anderson there on the stop. And Upperman not going tempo just yet. 54 seconds. They do have 2 timeouts left. I still imagine you're going to see them keep it conservative here. And Chaffin is not even back to the huddle yet with 15 seconds on the play clock. And it looks like Coach Kane's going to run it down and call timeout, maybe to get his quarterback some more breath because they want him to try and do what he just did. And they're going to stop the clock with 26 seconds to go or so. It is exactly 26 when they blow it dead on the timeout for Upperman.
Halftime score from Sparta. White County Warriors up 34-0 over Warren County. The matchup next week with Cookland Sparta.
Unbelievable.
I know we're going to be at Upperman, but I'll tell you, that is 2 great matchups. And
it's as good as it gets.
That's at Cookville, correct?
It's at Cookville. You talk about those 2 matchups next week. I can't remember, and of course I haven't been around as long as a lot of other people have in our area. I can't remember 2 headline games of that magnitude, certainly since I've been up here in the same week in a regular season. Yeah, within 20 minutes of each other. I mean, truly something. I mean, it's going to be a heck of a week. It's why it's a double feature game of the week coming up next week.
I obviously appreciate people watching Upper Cumberland Reporter and being able to watch the games, but those are 2 high school football games that you need to go to.
Yep.
I'll tell you, go sit in the stands. These kids love it whenever you're there. It's going to be fantastic. Now, you can sit in the stands and watch us on the stream. That'll be fun.
You go to one game and you listen to the other.
Exactly.
That's exactly right. First and 10 here for Upperman. 26 seconds to go in the quarter. Here in half number 1, they lead 14-0. They had a 96-yard touchdown rush for Bronston Chaffin, just erased on a hold. And I'm sure I didn't see it, but I wasn't looking at where that play was. I do know he got a hole there, and a lot of times when you get a hole that wide, somebody's got a hold of a jersey. 1 receiver each way as Chaffin's going to be in the gun. Has the snap. He's dropping back to pass. Looking left, and it is the go route to Branson Turnbow. He's behind the defender, and he makes the catch. Branson Turnbow to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, tiptoes, end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Upperman, through defensive pass interference. Branson Turnbow with an 84-yard reception from Bronston Chaffin.
It is almost not quite fair how many athletes that Upperman has on the field. I'll just tell you, call out, like you said last week, 6 different people score a touchdown. Is that what you said?
6 people scored a touchdown
6
last
different
week.
people scored a
3
touchdown
already
last
in this
week.
first half.
3 this week already. And it's almost not even fair how many different things they can do with the football.
One of the best deep ball throwers in the classification. Bronston Chaffin dropped it in a bucket. Branson Turnbow got hit by the defensive back early. He still made the catch, and he sprinted to the end zone for 6. 84 yards, and it is 20-0. It's an E.J. Barnes touchdown. Also a 931 Sports Cards and Collectibles touchdown. 931 Sports Cards and Collectibles, one of our newest sponsors here as well at UCR, and it took you long enough, fellas. I mean, my goodness, but we're happy you're along with us.
I agree. David had to make some money.
Is that right?
Yeah, David had to make
sense.
some money so we can do it.
That makes sense. What a end to the half for Upperman. And now Roberts on to try and make it 21-0 with 11 seconds to go. We wondered if they take the shot to Branson Turnbow. They did. Hard count on the PAT. Snap, set, kick. Good. 11 seconds to go in the first half, and Upperman's on the road at 6A Lebanon. They've opened up a 21-0 lead. We'll stay through because obviously we're about to go to break during halftime. And there was a moment there, Jeremy, where Lebanon started moving the ball, running the football well. But one big play defensively by Ethan Polk. Upperman gets it back. They go 84 yards over 6+ minutes. Lebanon then goes nowhere, kicks it, and really 2 touchdowns for Upperman. One gets called back, the second one through, and the complexion of this game completely different than where we were just 3 minutes of game time ago.
You know, the big issue with Lebanon right now is you've seen spurts. You've seen spurts of quick plays. You've seen spurts of the running game a little bit. They just cannot seem to get anything together against this Upperman defense.
Stick around during the Happy Hiller halftime show. As I mentioned, we'll talk about the first half, preview the second, and take you around the state, look at the scoreboard. And a lot of interesting games going on, a lot of lopsided games in the Upper Cumberland. So Bronston Chaffin runs 96 yards, gets it called back. Upperman then runs it once, lets the clock run down to 20 seconds, calls timeout, and then hits a bomb to Branson Turnbow down the field. The weapons this team has. It started with a pass from Chaffin to Walter Kane. Then Bronston took it in himself, and that time throws it deep to the senior. And by the way, there was a personal foul called against Lebanon. So Upperman's going to kick from the Lebanon 45-yard line, and at this point, you probably just kick an onside kick. That's typically where coaches go. Or you try to boom it out of the back of the end zone. But you don't want to kick it to Deuce Edwards. Roberts going to run up, and he is just going to boom it as far as he can. Edwards is under it, and he bobbles it. Still on the ground near the goal line. He picks it up and gets destroyed. Theo Brown says, "How do you do?" and then tells him about it on the 2-yard line. That was a stick from Theo Brown.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the Lebanon kick returner there, you know, you bobble it, you're just kind of in no man's land. You get nervous. You just kind of lose your wits about you. He's lucky he didn't turn the ball over. He's lucky the ball didn't pop out. He's lucky that Upperman didn't just recover the ball in the end zone for another touchdown.
So with 5 seconds left, Lebanon probably wants to put a knee on the ground and get into the half. They're going to go in.
I don't know that
and
they
get
can.
the ball in the second half. You're right. It's on the 3. So you got to go straight down if you go under center. Mariah is going to be trying to go under center. He's got 2 backs behind him. Alvarez, the nose tackle, waiting. He gets forward, gets hit, and gets crunched, but does get enough to get it into the break. but a dominant first half for the Upperman Bees on the road as they continue their strong start to the season. After 2 quarters, it's Upperman 21, Lebanon 0. We'll be back with the Happy Hiller halftime show in just a moment, but first a word from all of our sponsors who made it possible for us to be here tonight and all across the Upper Cumberland. At the break, it's Upperman 21, Lebanon 0. This is the high school football game of the week presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Visit swallowsinsurance.com or call us today, 931-526-4025. Protecting your future. It's what we do. Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Upperman football on UCR. Located at 755 Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville, Gentry's Power Equipment is your local steel dealer. With a huge selection of outdoor power equipment, including chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, mowers, pressure washers, and more. They are your local one-stop shop for high-quality equipment. Locally owned and operated, Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to support Upperman Athletics and UCR. Live Oak Insurance and Financial is home to your trusted local insurance professionals. Their experts are here to provide guidance and options to fit your home, life, health, and business insurance needs. And with the Medicare enrollment period coming soon, they're here to answer your questions. Call 931-367-5483 to set up an appointment today. Live Oak Insurance and Financial is proud to sponsor student athletes in the Upper Cumberland and this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
What if opportunity was all in a day's work?
We find new ways to make vacation dreams a reality. And that inspires me to do my best work every single day.
What if you can make a real impact in people's lives with a team that cares? What I do matters, not just for guests, but for my team. We rely on each other each and every day. What if your work inspired fun and moved people?
We put the world on vacation. Our job is to make people happy. Inspiring travelers around the world to live their best lives never stops being fulfilling.
At Travel and Leisure, what if can be what is. Stop wondering. Join the travel movement. And start a career where memories start with you.
Watson Chevrolet is proud to present the area's best selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Watson Chevy's staff of experts are ready to get you into your next vehicle with unmatched service and knowledge. Stop in at 2350 Cookeville Highway and test drive the all-new Chevy Trax or Silverado today. And remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye. Watson Chevy is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the UCR Media Network.
The Quality Family, a local company supporting and caring for our local communities. The Quality Family offers services to get you back to the game. From bracing to oxygen and everything in between, we can meet your medical equipment needs with Buckeye Home Medical Equipment. If you have an in-home need for strength and conditioning, for example after a surgery or injury, Quality Home Health is available to provide individualized care while you are on the mend. For those with end-of-life diseases, Quality Hospice is available to provide nurturing care during those difficult times. Choose the Quality Family of Services for care within your community. Visit thequalityfamily.com to navigate all we have to offer you.
I work with Warren County Nursery here in McMinnville, Tennessee.
I'm very passionate about the hay because that's how I take care of my cows.
So I farm here with my dad.
We raise primarily corn, soybeans, and wheat.
By having That in my background and knowing what the customer expects, I know how to cater to the customer.
We're here to provide solutions for our customers.
Going through some of those challenging experiences help you understand maybe the position they're coming from.
Can I use your shower again? I can't find anyone to fix it over the weekend.
Yeah, but you should have just called my guy. Hey, Greg.
What's up, Luke?
Can you fix the shower today?
Absolutely. Even on Sunday? Of course. No one should go without water. That's why we're here for you. 24/7, 365.
You look ridiculous.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Welcome back. It's time for the Happy Hiller Halftime Show. Visit happyhiller.com to see how our friends at Hiller can help solve your plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical problems today. That's happyhiller.com. At the break, Upperman with a 21-0 lead over Lebanon. We have halftime stats courtesy of our friend Kurt here to our left. We'll tell you about those after we take a look around the state on the Swallows Insurance scoreboard. Jeremy, a few interesting games headlined by Oakland going out. A battle of powerhouses, a Texas powerhouse and the Patriots.
And they do. They travel to Texas, play Anna, Texas. Almost halftime down 21-13. A lot of interstate matchups, kind of neat. Cherokee, North Carolina.
Is there anything there?
Where?
Cherokee, North Carolina? I don't. Cherokee, North Carolina. That rings a bell.
I'm not a gambler,
What?
but I have heard that there's potentially a casino.
They have
there.
blackjack tables at Cherokee?
I've heard.
By the way, UCR now expanding to cover Cherokee, North Carolina. I'm kidding.
You can go to Cherokee, but I can't go to Turks and Caicos. Are
It's
you
a
kidding
little
me?
bit of a different
Okay,
travel
that's fair.
style.
That's fair.
Although they cost about the same if you go like I do.
Halftime, South Fulton beating Fulton County, Kentucky, 41-0.
Ouch. Did Kentucky drive in?
I have no idea.
Who's the bottom team on that one?
Let's see. It is.
Okay, so South Fulton drove to win. I mean, if you drive that far and then lose 41 to nothing,
I agree with
that's
you.
brutal. All right, sorry.
I agree. David Crockett, 13-7 over Cherokee, halftime. Granger, one of your favorite. Here we go.
Chucky Dope.
Chucky Dope.
Let's go.
Is losing 35-7, unfortunately.
They're always losing. I don't know what's going on at Chucky Dope. Too good of a name to lose as much as they do out there.
I don't know a lot about these two teams, but this is just a traditional powerhouse. But Greenville up 21-0 over Dobbins-Bennett. I've refereed at both of those places, and just a great rivalry in that area.
It sure feels like, just based on 2 weeks, what we saw Elizabethton do. Now, Anderson County, really good. Feels like it's going to be Anderson County, Greenville out there, and then some combination on the eastern part of Upperman, Macon County, Sparta, battling in those quarterfinal rounds.
Absolutely. Sevier County up on Jefferson County, 28-14.
My wife's, the lovely Madison McKay's uncle, Spencer Riley, center for the Tennessee Vols during the national championship. Absolutely.
Didn't know that.
He's the head coach of Jefferson County, so we have
Carnes
an affinity for them.
Over William Blunt, 26-21. They're winning, but still a surprising score for me is Bearden is losing 21-14 to Alcoa. Here's my question.
I got a few questions.
I just wonder, with Coach Rankin leaving Alcoa a couple of years ago, are we seeing Alcoa peel back a little bit?
Now, listen, I think Ravenwood's really good. I think Ravenwood could be a semifinal team. But in years past, Alcoa's beating a semifinal team out of 6A. They just are. And they're certainly not following it up with struggling to beat a Bearden team within their own metro area.
I completely agree.
I think you had that natural slip that seems to maybe be happening. And know what I'm most interested in, and I don't care. It is what it is. They recruit. We all know they recruit.
Sure.
And they've intentionally stayed in 3A. If they slip, number one, how do they handle that? And number two, do we finally see an actual normal classification system for Alcoa, and are they out of 3A at some
Absolutely.
point?
Makes a lot of sense for sure. Good game. Harriman over Wartburg right now, almost halftime, 8-7. Kingston over Oliver Springs, 21-14.
Is Oliver Springs the team that beat South Pitt last week? Or was that Copper Basin?
It was not Copper Basin. I think it was Oliver Springs.
So that tells you a lot. You scoreboard watch those two comparison for a team like Gordonsville and Clay County. That becomes very interesting.
Maryville up on Knox Central 31-0.
Maryville's good again, by the way.
They are.
They're good again. They're going to beat Alcoa badly, the way this season has started.
Kinney, Chesneyville, Gibbs, 16-10 over Halls right now.
Good game there.
Midway over Red Bowling Springs, 42-0 at the half.
Ooh. I believe somebody picked that wrong on the picks, and I can't remember who it was.
Who was it?
I can't remember who it was. We'll find out.
Who'd you pick?
I picked Midway.
Okay.
Yep.
Oakdale 12-0 over Jellicoe.
That's the Fighting Michael Lindsay's from Oakdale down there.
I love it. And then we've got the Fighting Brandon Reeves from Powell High School.
He went to Powell.
He went to Powell. He sure did.
And he has no athletic bone in his body. That's
well,
really
I will tell you, I think he set the record for the most basketball games ever sat on the bench at Powell High School. This is a true story. I swear to you, he told me this, and I'm going to call.
Yes.
He texted me a little bit ago. I promise you, I hope he's listening. They're at Powell High School.
Yes.
They order brand new Jordans. I mean, nice,
beautiful,
sweet Jordans.
Yep.
And one of the 5 starters, Jordans, are the wrong size and they don't fit.
They took
Brandon. They make Brandon. They make Brandon give his Jordans to the starter, and he never got another pair of Jordans.
Noted friend to UCR, Brandon Reeves, of course.
Oh my gosh,
Lucas and Bennett and that whole crew's dad. Love you, brother, but that is the most perfect story I've ever heard in my life.
I love it. I swear. I hope he's listening. Please text me, Brandon, if you are.
Somebody just texted him. He can rewind on YouTube. Somebody tell him.
Oh, it's awesome.
There you go.
Stewart's Creek over Blackman 10-0.
Wow.
Chattanooga Christian over Chattanooga Central 12-6. Grace Baptist of Chattanooga 24-6 over Copper Basin. McMinn Central over Seymour 21-8. Monterey, good for Monterey right now, up 14-6 over Rockwood. Speaking of Reeves, Bennett Reeves, his first game ever officiating on the field as the back judge at Monterey tonight.
He was officiating at the Anderson County Stone Memorial scrimmage, and I recognized him, but I couldn't place him. I said, "Who are you?" And he told me, and I went, weren't you playing like 12 minutes ago? But good for him. Good for him to get right into it, truly.
He texted me earlier. He was nervous as a cat.
Seriously, good for him. I mean, we need young officials, no doubt.
Game of the week on TV. Oh, I can't wait. Brandon's texted me. I cannot wait to read it. Riverdale's over Henry County 10-0 at the half.
A lot of people took Henry County in that game. Riverdale, and when you look at 6A with Cookeville, Riverdale being very good. We know Oakland's very good. Not ideal for a Cookeville team that needs a path.
Smyrna up on Rockville 7-0. Signal Mountain up on Notre Dame 29-19. Not the one from Indiana.
Nope. Believe it or not, it's not the one.
South Pitt rebounding a little bit. This South Pitt over Franklin County playing up several divisions, up 14-0. No surprise, Macon County over Trousdale 42-0.
I'm surprised it's not more lopsided, truly. What a game we're going to have next week.
I'm kind of surprised right now. Westmoreland over Clay County 7-0 at the half.
You know what's interesting about that, and we talked about it on UC Game Day morning, the one thing that Clay County struggled with was defending the wing T that, I can't wait to hear this, but was defending the wing T of York, and Westmoreland runs that wing T. So that doesn't surprise me. Now, Westmoreland completely neutralizing Clay County's offense, that's very interesting. We'll see if that continues. Clay County, though, 21 unanswered points a week ago in the second half. We'll see if Bruce Land can make the adjustments.
So Brandon texted me, and he said, hey, they gave me some ponies as replacements.
Instead of the Jordans.
Halftime, Cookeville up on Pure Academy 35-8. Bledsoe County over Cumberland County 21-0 in the third quarter.
Some people got that pick wrong as well.
Gallatin over Station Camp 21-7 at the half. Hardin County over Giles 14-0 in the second. Joe Burns over Ballard Memorial of Kentucky, 7-0, almost halftime.
What a name.
Marion County over East Hamilton, 21-0. Ottawa over Soddy Daisy, 7-0. Sequatchie County, 41-0 over East Ridge.
Wow.
Stone Memorial up on Sweetwater, 21-7.
Yep.
Walker Valley, 14-0 over Polk County. You're right, Ravenwood's good.
Ravenwood's very good.
41-0 over Cane Ridge, almost halftime.
Cane Ridge lost 50-0 to Mount Juliet last week. Cane Ridge is very bad. Sorry. but Ravenwood is very
Sounds
good.
like they're consistent.
They are consistent. They have yet to score through 3 halves of football. That's not what you're looking for.
Creekwood 7-6 over Lewis County at the half.
Jeremy Pruitt, offensive coordinator at Cane Ridge. Continue.
Ouch.
Go Vols. We'll continue on with the scoreboard here. I'll take the reins over from my friend Jeremy Tollison. Siegel with a 14-8 lead over Laverne. Lawrence County leads Loretto 21-14. White House over Liberty Creek 14-9. BGA over Maplewood 27-3. Big one in Class 4A. One Class 4A team that Upperman fans will be keeping an eye on. CPA, defending Division II state champion over Pearl Cone when last updated in the first quarter, 14-0. Pearl Cone lost on a 53-yard field goal to MBA last week. Pearl Cone, you got to credit them. They scheduled very difficult D2 schools early because their region they will steamroll through. They want to be prepared. So even if Pearl Cone starts 0-2, don't chalk that up to, oh, they're going to be way down this year. They're facing 2 teams that may be 2 state champions in their Division II classifications. But still, 14-0 CPA. By the way, Ingle Martin at CPA may be the best football coach in this state, if not right there with Kevin Creasy and company. Coffee County 14-9 over Tullahoma. Summertown leads Wayne County 7-0 with our friends over the X Sports Network bringing that to you on Facebook and YouTube. Camden Central leads Hollow Rock Brewston 22-7. Harpeth and Cheatham County tied at 0. Defensive battle there. Fairview leads Waverly 21-6. Trying to see where Rusty Ellis is. You know, Rusty Ellis is now the voice of Peabody football. So he's the voice of the Peabody.
I watched a little bit of
Tide.
their. They had maybe a show.
Yeah,
they
did a little jam or a thing this morning. Absolutely. Let's see if we can get a score from that game. If not, we'll pull it up. That's live on Facebook as well for Peabody. Dyersburg leads Lake County 35-6. Jackson Northside leads Liberty 21-6. USJ over Union City 28-17. Covington over Brighton 36-0. It looks like there may be storms out there in West Tennessee, so a lot of games have not even started there. Grace Christian leads York 40-20 over on UCR 4. Jacob will be back early tonight for that. That's all the Division II scores that we'll give you. Congratulations on your money. Not worried about that.
The good news is we have people listening.
We do.
And I'll tell you why is my phone's blowing up. I'll tell you. I've got one text that says, oh, my goodness, Brandon catching strays on the halftime show. And then my buddy Larry texted me and said, y'all got to leave my Alcoa alma mater alone a little bit, please.
What did I say that's not true? How about this for first half stats? There are some very eye-catching stats here. Let's talk first defensively for Upperman. Lebanon in this game for Deuce Edwards, 5 carries for 14 yards. For Isaiah Mariah, 3 carries, -9 yards. And then as I get my roster here, Isaiah Mariah, 3 carries, -9 yards. And Gianna Zerta, 2 carries for 8 yards. Mariah throwing the football 1 of 5 for just 9 yards so far in the game. Some quick math, and that is 22 yards of offense for Lebanon in the first half of this game. Upperman, on the other hand, as a team, 21 carries, 128 yards. 150 passing yards for Bronston Chaffin. Bronston Chaffin in this game has rushed 11 times for 70 yards and a score. Ethan Paulk, 10 for 58. Chaffin through the air, 9 of 11, 150 yards and 2 touchdowns at the break. The stats tell you the story of the game. There was one drive where pretty much all those yards came for Lebanon, and other than that, they have done absolutely nothing against this Upperman football team.
And there's one stat that you're not going to see on the stat sheet because it's a 0. Jawan Stafford with 0 tackles.
Exactly right.
I mean,
that was one of the keys to the game.
I mean, he looks the part. And like you said, last week had a big week. Upperman's game plan is working with him. Maybe they can't shut him out the whole game, but I'll tell you, if you would have told me before the game started that that Upperman had almost as many passing yards as rushing yards, 300 almost total.
Wow. Yeah.
And Stafford had 0 tackles, 0 sacks. The score would probably be about where it's at.
Upperman went 3 of 4 scoring drives in that first half. The one that they didn't, they were nearing the red zone, had a block in the back, put them back to 1st and 20, and they ultimately got about 2 yards away from the first down mark. But it is all Upperman so far. We'll take a quick break and come back with third quarter action. This has been the Happy Hiller halftime show. Lebanon with the ball to start the second half. They need a drive if they want a chance to come back against a very motivated Upperman Bees team. This is the high school football game of the week presented by Gentry's Power Equipment, and you're watching it on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network. Sonia Brown is a full-service realtor and is licensed across the state of Tennessee, listing and selling residential and multifamily, land and farms, commercial and industrial properties. Sonia handles the sale from start to closing and beyond. Let her put her 30-plus years of experience to work for you. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate has been supporting student-athletes in the Upper Cumberland since 1990. You can reach Sonia Brown at 931-979-7145. Sonia Brown, realtor with American Way Real Estate, is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
When you order delivery from Domino's, you can get more than just pizza for $6.99. You can get specialty chicken, savory pastas, oven-baked Parmesan bread bites, molten lava crunch cakes, and medium 2-topping pizzas as well. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to support student-athletes and athletic departments throughout the Upper Cumberland. They're also proud to sponsor the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game on this broadcast. From trophies to t-shirts, they can do it all. Stop by and see them at 120 Circle Drive in Allgood or give them a call at 931-537-9559. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate proudly presents this home on Meadow Road in Cookeville. With 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, this beautiful brick ranch could be your forever home. Call 931-979-1191 for more information and to schedule a showing, or visit chadandamycrouch.com. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Iron Vine in Cookeville is the Upper Cumberland's home for delicious Chicago-style pizza, beef, chicken, fish, and more. Located in Cookeville's historic downtown district, Iron Vine's food and atmosphere will keep you coming back for more. Take in stunning views with the UCR team on Tuesday nights at 7, live for the UCR Coaches Show from the rooftop. Fire and Vine is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. All Sports and Outdoors in Jamestown is the Upper Cumberland's best sporting goods store. From cleats to camping supplies and everything in between, this family-owned store has it all. All Sports and Outdoors is proud to support our community, including student athletes throughout the Upper Cumberland. Stop in at 207 South Main Street or visit their website at hall42.com. Hall Sports and Outdoors is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Let the bidding begin. It's time for the show, and you know it's gonna go high. There's a buzz in the air, and people come from everywhere to hear the auctioneer cry. The sound of the gavel never gets old when you hear an EJ say so. Live or online, we handle auctions of any kind.
Call Amanette's Eagle Auction at 526-5335, where we soar higher.
Welcome back. The mandated 3-minute warm-up period is almost in the books here as we are back. We welcome you into the broadcast booth. I'm Noah McKay, joined by Jeremy Tollis. And down there on the sideline is Hallie Ledbetter. Hallie, up here feels like this game's been pretty one-sided. You're on that Lebanon sideline right now, closest to us in the press box. You have that same feeling down there?
I do. I think that as well as one-sided, it's really showing in the players. A lot of morale is lacking on the Lebanon side. I'm not really seeing as much hype as you are on the Upperman side. And I can hear them on that side a lot better than I can hear Lebanon on this side.
We've been talking about Bronston Chaffin all night, and obviously he's got 150 passing yards. He's got a rushing touchdown as well. He's accounted for 3. To us, looks like he seems bigger. You were down there a lot last year. You're down there now. Does he seem just physically more imposing as you're up close and personal?
Honestly, I thought he looked really intimidating last year. He looks like a totally different person this year. I mentioned that before the game as well. He has put on some weight in a good way. In a really good way. He is an absolute unit on the field.
There's Hallie Ledbetter on the sideline. Stick around post-game. She'll be joined by head coach Adam Kane, assuming this result holds, and she will talk to him about this game and get some of his thoughts. And this is a critical opening drive for Lebanon. If they want any chance, Jeremy, they're going to have to find a way to move the ball on this drive.
And they have to. And if they stay one-dimensional, and correct me if I'm wrong, would you say 1 of 5 for how many yards? 3?
Yep.
1 of 5 for 3 yards. If they cannot pass the ball downfield,
9 yards, my apologies.
9 yards.
9 yards.
This game is, it may already be, but if they cannot pass the ball downfield, this game is over. They have to be able to have a little balance. Upperman is too strong. Linebackers can cover way too much ground for Upperman if Lebanon cannot throw the ball.
Upperman's in white jerseys, white pants, the Stormtrooper look. Lebanon in their traditional home blue jerseys, white pants with blue accents. Happy to be along with you wherever you are watching or listening throughout the Upper Cumberland, and there are a lot of places you could be. We are live, of course, on the main UCR Facebook page and YouTube channel. We are also live with our friends at Cookeville Communications on the Hub Plus app, on Roku, and also on Spectrum and Twin Lakes on channel 192. Listening live on the radio on 106.1 The Eagle. Appreciate Michael back in the studio for making sure we are on the air. And everybody over there as well. Jason Greider heading things up with a great team at Cookeville Communications. Roberts on to kick it away, and he is going to do so. And he's kicking it away from Edwards, and it bounces towards him. He fields it, looking to reverse field at the 15. Edwards cuts upfield, and he is cut down. Upperman has done a nice job against the very explosive Deuce Edwards so far. 1st and 10 Lebanon on their own 25-yard line.
And again, Lebanon's got to get a little bit better play out of the quarterback. He's got to set his feet. We've got to get the ball downfield if they have any chance of crawling back into this game.
One more score update that we missed there during halftime, I believe. DeKalb County leads over Smith County 21-0 midway through the third quarter there. DeKalb County, very good start to the season. They're going to have a big game, a sneaky, huge game. Livingston, DeKalb next week, 2-0 teams there. We'll have that one streamed. Snap taking and a handoff up the middle. Edwards rumbles through a whole truck, sticks a defender who stays with it. Best play of the game so far for Lebanon is it's a gain of 10, and it will be a Blue Devils first down.
You talk about the DeKalb-Livingston game. Literally could be for a playoff spot next week.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 upcoming here for Lebanon after a 10-yard rush for Deuce Edwards. Again, transferred in from Mount Juliet. I don't know all the ins and outs. I do know Mount Juliet projected to finish a lot higher this year than Lebanon, just from what we've been able to read and see. So interesting there. Again, there's been a lot of controversy just from a quick scan about all those things. One receiver each way. Edwards going to move in motion into the backfield with Isaiah Mariah. Snap taken, handoff to him, tries to cut up the field. He does so, gets hit and cut down by Branson Turnbow. Last year, Branson Turnbow played a lot of corner. This year, they've moved him around and just want him kind of ranging, not exactly as a free safety, but if you just look at it, you would think he's playing free safety back there as it's 2nd down and 3.
And again, everything Lebanon wants to start this drive. It seems like the offensive line's just getting a little bit more push, and I see a little bit more oomph out of Deuce running the ball.
It is a very important drive for Lebanon if they want any chance. They wanted to avoid what happened last year, which was, they said, a little embarrassing. Snap taken, going to play fake, and now being pressured and being sacked. Ethan Polk from the blind side crushes Mariah for a domino sack. 90 seconds into the third quarter, Ethan Polk came around on the blitz. Coach Satterfield, Blake Satterfield, of course, longtime head coach at Trousdale County. He's the defensive coordinator now in Baxter. He draws it up there along with Coach Kane. And Ethan Polk with his 2nd tackle for loss of the game. It's 3rd and 14. Jeremy, Ethan Polk hits hard.
He does, and in both of the plays, his tackle for loss, he's just completely flying into the backfield.
Gunner block checks in for Branson Turnbow. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Mariah takes the snap, dropping back. He's being pressured again. Fires down the middle of the field. Receivers there, makes the catch. Down the seam against the cover 3. I've learned from Justin, that's the gap, and it's a gain of 20 and enough for a Lebanon first down, their biggest play of the game.
And again, we talked about it. Getting the ball downfield is going to open up this offense for Lebanon.
1st and 10 on the 44. Lebanon looking for a touchdown on this drive, and now they're going to go a little tempo. That's what Coach Kane expected to see. Hadn't seen any of it yet. Snap taken. They're going to hand off to Edwards. Deuce Edwards gets around the edge. He gets hit and wrangled down. He's still fighting forward, though, carrying defenders. Yards after contact, a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 to the Upperman 39. Final score, Livingston beats Jenkins tonight, 55-0. And for the first time since 2019, where they went 10-0, Livingston is 2-0.
Good for Coach Hauser.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's done a really good job with that program. Big pedigree. His dad's been coaching forever. His dad's dealing with some health stuff, so our prayers are with him. Just a great football mind, great football family.
One receiver out each way here. Mariah motions a couple across. Snap taken, going to turn and hand off to Edwards again around the right side. Big hole to rumble through, bounces outside to the 30. Now wiggles forward, and it'll be pushed down at the 28. Another first down for Lebanon. Their best drive of the game by a country mile. They're looking to finish it off 3.5 minutes into this third quarter. Colton Johnson finally able to get Deuce Edwards down, and really, they hadn't done a great job of getting Deuce Edwards the football in the first half. They're doing a much better job of it here in the third. Two to the left. A little more juice in the sideline here. Some more come on blue chants from beneath us. Coach Satterfield trying to shift the defense. Snap taking on a handoff, and here comes Ethan Polk again. Comes flying around and takes down Deuce Edwards for a loss of 1.5 yards. It's the third tackle for loss of the game for Ethan Polk.
And that's what I was going to say. It's the third time that he has come into that offensive backfield like a missile to make the tackle. And another thing, too, is sure tackle, too. It's like it's a no-doubter tackle. He's not going in there playing any games.
It's a loss of 2. It's going to be 2nd down and 12. Ethan Polk, and that seems to be an adjustment for Upperman. He's shooting unblocked off the edge.
And part of that is because Lebanon's passing game is essentially 0.
Edwards comes in motion, joins Mariah in the backfield again. Snap taken, going to play fake. Mariah jukes away from one tackler and now dives forward. Going to be 3rd down and 6, or make it 7, and this is 4-down territory as they're in no man's land at the 27.
Noah Tarver with that tackle.
3rd down and a long 7 here, which is broadcast speak for 3rd down and 8. 7:20 to go in the third quarter. 21-0 Upperman. First drive of the quarter, or the half rather, for Lebanon here, and it's taken a while off the clock, but they're trying not to stall out. They were very ineffective a week ago in this high red zone area against Antioch. Most of their drives started here after punt returns by Deuce Edwards. And now we have a whistle and a stoppage. And there's some blood on Isaiah Mariah. He's the quarterback. So what's the procedure here? Does he have to come out?
He has to come out.
And so they're going to check in Austin Harrison, who's the backup quarterback. And this is a big play here on 3rd and 8 with the senior quarterback out trying to get some tape there to stop the blood.
I'll tell you a rule that's kind of weird, but in football, you can call a timeout. The player cannot come back in.
Really?
But in basketball, you can use a timeout and bring the player back in.
I think you should be able to call a timeout and bring him back in personally, but what do I know? One receiver out each way. And now a little bit of a wildcat set potentially for Austin Harrison. He'll bring Edwards into the backfield with him. Snap taking and a handoff to Edwards. Edwards cuts upfield, and he is cut down. And the ball popped out potentially. There's a scrum for it. We don't have a signal yet. Now they'll stop the clock, and it is 4th down. Lebanon with the football. Mariah, I think, will ready to check back in potentially. He is already back out there on the field, and here we go. For Lebanon, this is probably your ball game. 4th down and 4, down 21-0 to Upperman. They got to get to the 20. They're on the 24. And this has already bled half the quarter away. 6:15 to go. Mariah sends Edwards out to the right side. He's got Izita in the backfield with him. Now they'll motion several across. Huge play here. Edwards in motion, going to pitch it on the sweep across. He tries to cut upfield, and he is crunched by Kane, and then Carmine Phillips finishes the job with the stick. He did not get there. It's a turnover on downs, and Walter Kane there first back-to-back hit sticks for the B defense.
And that's just a one-on-one play. It's just who's the bigger man on that play, and Walter Kane just said, hey, not today.
Walter Kane, a very physical middle linebacker. He takes on the mentality of his head coach, who also happens to be his dad. 1st and 10 Upperman, and for Lebanon, a 6-minute and 7-second drive. They didn't even get to the red zone. 1st and 10 Bs trying to ice it away potentially here. Got a score update, I believe.
Yeah. Cookeville, Pure Academy scores. It's 35-16 Cavs with 6:50 left in the third. And DeKalb now leads Smith 28-0.
Great start to the season for DeKalb County. Bronston Chaffin takes the shotgun snap, carries around the left side. He's got a hold of rumble through. He's past the first down line and then some, and he will dart out of bounds. Another gain of about 20 yards for Asanya Brown with American Way Real Estate and Baxter Pharmacy. First down for the Upperman Bees.
And again, just we've talked about it all night long, but the athleticism of Chaffin there, he's
just gliding out there.
It's just unfair.
I think the thing
it really is.
The thing that really got us, the run that got called back.
Oh,
neither one of us have seen that breakaway speed.
I had no idea he had that in the tank. I had no idea.
That's one. The college coaches won't care it got called back. You send that out to everybody.
He can dunk a basketball with his feet. He can run like that. It's ridiculous.
Three receivers right to the right. Snap taken. A little option play. They're going to hand to Polk. Polk now with the physicality powers forward for a gain of 7. It's 2nd and 3. And, how good this Upperman football team is. You put him on a basketball floor with Ty Cobb, who may be the best basketball player in this entire state in any classification. Yep. They're good in everything. 2nd down and 3 upcoming now for the Bees. It's pretty impressive what's happening on this field right now for the Bees. Once again, trips out to the right side. Chaffin surveys, has the snap, going to hand off again to Polk. He's hitting the backfield, stiff arms, carries the defender forward, slung down, got about half the yards he needed. It's going to be 3rd and 1 upcoming, and a nice tackle made that time. I think Quentin Moore was there, got a hold of him and slung him down. Big number 0.
You talked about it a second ago. The game was on the line, fell short. And, again, the game is in the balance on this play, too. I mean, Upperman gets a first down here.
It's interesting just thinking about it. All that's been made about Upperman's turnover on the line. 280, 235, 285, 300, 240. They look like a plenty big enough line down there on that offensive line right now against the 6A front. That's a nice size 6A front. 3rd down and 1 for the Bees. Chaffin has the snap, going to hand to Carmine Phillips, and Carmine Phillips with the speed, bounces up to the 40, hurdles over a defender to the 35 where he's cut down, and he is slow to get up. Got hit down in the leg, and he's holding his leg up in the air. Carmine Phillips, big weapon for this team, and there's the universal sign for cramping. He's being stretched out by his quarterback, or pardon me, one of his receivers. It is enough for a Baxter Pharmacy and Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate. First down for the Bees. I was worried that could have been maybe a Charlie horse, got a helmet in the calf and stuck his leg up in the air, getting stretched out down there. We hope is just the cramp. Theo Brown is stretching out his leg. It is a warm night. It's been a warm day all day, and this is one where if you don't start drinking your fluids early, it could come back to bite you late. So the trainers will come over to the Lebanon sideline to take a look at him.
Score update. Cookeville answers, 52-yard read option keeper for Blake Owen. On the next drive, makes it 41-16 Cavs. 5:59 go in the third. PAT is missed.
So we're hoping it's just cramps for Carmine Phillips as he's being tended to on the sideline. He's got a Gatorade bottle in his hand. Allie said they're checking his calf down there. Again, got hit there, kind of helmet to the back of the leg. And that's a new wrinkle as well this year for the Bees. Carmine Phillips entering the backfield with the speed element. Ethan Polk with the power. Bronston Chaffin just being Brock Lesnar out there, for lack of a better phrase. Remind you, join us later on tonight for the Friday Night End Zone show where chaos may ensue. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one, certainly, as we've got a few twists and turns ready for it.
One thing on that formation for Baxter, or Upperman again, is the slot receivers covered again. Let's look for, that was Bronson Chaffin, let's look for him maybe to come back, catch a quick pass, or, as you do on your flag football team, a little eye candy and go the other way.
We do a little eye candy and go the other way.
Hey, I love it.
The last 3 weeks of the season for the Upward Lions this year, 8-9-year-old team, we scored 36 points, 46 points, And then I think it was 42 points last week of the season. But it's nothing compared to you guys dropping 50 on people. But it does pretty – for 8, 9-year-olds, that's pretty –
That's a lot of points for 8, 9-year-olds. The thing about it is with us is we were able to have balance. We played some teams that would shut down the run, and we would just throw the ball down the sidelines. But
Carmine Phillips.
Good to see him get up.
Yeah, and he started with a limp, and now he's starting to get a little bit more straight. He gets a handshake from his coach, again, hoping that that's just cramps. Tough young man, big weapon for this team, but it's a team with just a ton of them. Branson Turnbow's touched the football once in this game, Jeremy, and he went 86 yards for a score.
It's a pretty good average.
Yeah, not bad at all, as you see. Phillips kind of favoring one of his legs, but walking off the field under his own power. And this now, Upperman 1st and 10 on the Lebanon 36-yard line. They're looking for the kill shot here. They want to put this one away. And I think to this point, we'll talk about it post-game, and maybe Hallie can ask him about it. He said he wanted this team to get to a point, Coach Kane did, that next level of physicality. They have to this point, certainly.
So far, it's been impressive.
Fitz and Brown, opportunity for Fitz with Phillips on the sideline, at least for now, out to the left side. Polk in the backfield. Chaffin takes the snap, going to hand off to him. Polk breaks one arm tackle, breaks another, and then finishes physically for a gain of 4. So 2nd and 6 upcoming here for the Bees, and you can already look over. Phillips walking with a lot better of a stride there. That's very good to see. Lingering, it just took a while to get up, so I was worried that maybe it wasn't cramps, but looks to be getting his legs back under him over there. Hallie, can you see Carmine Phillips over there? Is he walking better to you as well?
I can see him slightly. I think he's doing the mandated stretches right now.
Snap taken for Bronsden Chaffin as he's going to carry it around the right side, and he trucks through a defender to the 26. And a little frustration shown for Lebanon defensively as big number 0, Moore, was slamming his fist against the ground, but Pierce Anderson in there to make that tackle.
Pierce Anderson had what I like to refer to as a defensive tackle because he was about to get killed. It's like absorb the contact and hang on for dear life, I'll tell you.
3rd and half a yard upcoming here for the Bees. They're on the Lebanon 26-yard line, working left to right on your screen if you're listening on 106.1 The Eagle. Chaffin with a hard count. They show blitz, and now Chaffin checks out, and they may call a timeout. 7 seconds on the play clock. Never mind, he's getting back ready to go. 3 seconds for Chaffin. He calls for and has the shotgun snap. Going to hand off to Polk, and Polk, that physical finish, more than enough for Baxter Pharmacy and Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate. 1st down, just moving down the field in the running game. 2:13 to go into 3rd and counting for an Upperman team leading 21-0.
You know, that's the first tackle that we have on record for Juwan Stafford. Almost the end of the 3rd quarter, they've shut him down.
1st and 10 upcoming here for Upperman. They're nearing the red zone once again. 2 to the left. Polk in the backfield with Bronsden Chaffin. Has the snap. Chaffin around right side, looking to keep it himself. He's to the 20. He's to the 15. He's to the 10, and he carries defenders to the 6. Bronsden Chaffin rumbles again for a gain of 16 yards. It's a Baxter Pharmacy and Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate. 1st down into the Baxter Family Dentistry and Twin Lakes Catfish Farm red zone. Again, game of the week. Doubled up the sponsors. We appreciate all of them.
Absolutely. Tez Neal with the touchdown-saving tackle there. You mentioned it a few minutes ago, but this offensive line is just super, super, super impressive right now.
1:17 to go in the 3rd. Polk checks back towards the clock. They're looking to add on. Has the snap. It's Ethan Polk's turn around left end. Polk rumbles through. He's carrying the pile forward, pushing down to the 2, where it'll be 2nd and goal as we go under a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Each team has touched it once in the frame. Lebanon stalled out outside the red zone. Upperman on the doorstep of punching it in. Carter McPeak there on the tackle, the middle linebacker. First time we've got to see him in there. Upperman going with that mix of size and speed. Fits back in. Walter Kane up front, though. As Chaffin breaks huddle, and everybody's in the box. 22 bodies. Let's get it. Old school football now. 2nd and goal from the 2. Chaffin has the snap, hand off to Polk up the middle, and he barrels to the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Upperman. And the Class 4A runners-up have come on the road to Lebanon and put their stake in the ground. It's 27-0 late in the third quarter.
You know, last week you and I were in Smith County, and we saw the score of the Upperman-Fayetteville game. And I said, and honestly, I was wrong. But I said, hey, this is a lot on Fayetteville to me. I expected them to be better. I was wrong. This Upperman team is absolutely rolling right now.
Snap, set, extra point up, extra point good. Roberts 4 for 4 tonight. It's an E.J. Barnes and 931 Sports Cards and Collectibles touchdown for the Bees. It's 28-0 with 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the high school football game of the week presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Upperman football on UCR. Located at 755 Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville, Gentry's Power Equipment is your local steel dealer. With a huge selection of outdoor power equipment, including chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, mowers, pressure washers, and more. They are your local one-stop shop for high-quality equipment. Locally owned and operated, Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to support Upperman Athletics and UCR. Welcome back to the high school football game of the week. Now, here's Noah McKay, Jeremy Tallison, and Hallie Ledbetter.
Welcome back. Late in the third quarter, 20 seconds to go to be exact. Upperman's lead over Lebanon is 28-0. Last week, Jacob Vinson said they couldn't have been better. It's about the same this week so far for this Upperman squad as Roberts kicks it away. Edwards going to let it bounce. It goes all the way back inside the 10. It's angling, and he's going to have to pick it up at the 5, and now he's looking at a bunch of white jerseys. He breaks some tackles, though, and there he goes. Deuce Edwards, second straight week where he's going to crib one. Lebanon's offense comes in the special teams unit. Upperman played with fire, and they got burned. Deuce Edwards, the transfer for 6.
And Edwards was hoping that the ball was going to roll to the end zone for the touchback. Had no choice but to pick it up. And shows his athleticism.
Didn't think they would kick it to him tonight. Upperman has all night. They got away with it until then, and Lebanon with new life. 6 seconds to go in the third. It's 28-6. So now the extra point unit on here for Lebanon as they erase that long touchdown drive. The problem for the Blue Devils is they have not been able to move quickly down the field. They're going to have to and get some stops. Snap, set, extra point up. Extra point is good. 6 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's 28-7, and that's when Coach Kane's going to put up on the whiteboard, I believe, on Monday morning to show his guys. Not going to be thrilled with that one. Big swing there, back and forth. Still a 21-point lead for the Bees. And that gives a little bit of life to the band, the students that are here. What do we think the theme is tonight, Jeremy? Is that fishing? I thought Hawaii for a second. There's some interesting-looking shirts over there.
Luau.
Is it luau? I don't see enough lays.
It's a handful.
Is it just fishing in Wilson County? Is that a little different than fishing up
Fishing in the dark? Oh, my gosh. That's
fishing
terrible.
in the UC.
Oh, my good gracious.
6 seconds to go in the third quarter. 28-7. And really the question is Lebanon going to touch the football again?
Have you heard the new Nico Moon cover of Fishing in the Dark?
It's very good.
I think it's pretty good. And it's so hard to take a classic like that and turn it into your own song. They just did a pretty good job.
Hallie, you got an answer. What's the theme tonight down there? You're much closer to the student section traditions than we are up here.
I'm assuming luau. They usually put the freshmen in the back, so that's probably why you're not seeing all those what they called
Lays, yeah, Lays.
But they're all in the front. They're definitely all in the front.
It's a good crowd for
like Beachy,
Lebanon.
Luau, maybe. I didn't know how to spell it, so that's why I texted you some
We're going to
random
see a
word.
lot of Lays tomorrow in Knoxville with Nico.
First kickoff return of the game. This time it's Elijah Fitz. He's at the 20. Fitz is at the 25. He's at the 30. He's got blockers in front to the 40, and Fitz tiptoes his way. And they'll say he stepped out at the 41. It's a good return for Elijah Fitz, and it's the final play of the third quarter. Kickoff return for Lebanon gives the Blue Devils life. We head to the fourth. It's Upperman 28, Lebanon 7. This is the high school football game of the week presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Live Oak Insurance and Financial is home to your trusted local insurance professionals. Their experts are here to provide guidance and options to fit your home, life, health, and business insurance needs. And with the Medicare enrollment period coming soon, they're here to answer your questions. Call 931-367-5483 to set up an appointment today. Live Oak Insurance and Financial is proud to sponsor student athletes in the Upper Cumberland and this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
I work with Warren County Nursery here in McMinnville, Tennessee.
I'm very passionate about the hay because that's how I take care of my cows.
So I farm here with my dad.
We raise primarily corn, soybeans, and wheat.
By having that in my background and knowing what the customer expects, I know how to cater to the customer.
We're here to provide solutions for our customers.
Going through some of those challenging experiences help you understand maybe the position they're coming from.
I'm Amy Allen with American Farmhouse, and you're watching Upperman Football on the UCR Media Network.
Welcome back as we head into the fourth quarter. Upperman's lead is 28-7. Deuce Edwards with a kickoff return for a touchdown. First score of the game for Lebanon, but a good return for Elijah Fitz gives Upperman field position on their own 41-yard line. Bronston Chaffin, he has been sensational tonight. He leads his troops back out. Lebanon looking for a turnover. Get him back into it. Snap, take it. Handoff goes to Ethan Polk. Polk rumbles a little bit forward for a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. Jack Greer, the junior defensive end, there defensively.
Noah, what are we going to see here? We're going to see the patented Upperman game-chewing, clock-chewing drive.
I would suspect that's probably what you're going to see out of the play caller, Coach Adam Kane. It's called risk management. If you break one, great. If you don't, just keep it on the ground and grind it out. 2nd and 8. Upperman has not had a negative offensive play outside of one penalty all night long. One receiver out to the left side is Elijah Fitz. Chaffin is running the play clock down to 5. Has the snap, going to keep it around left side. Big hole to run through, and there's Bronston Chaffin. He's past the 50, tiptoes to the 45, cuts up at the 40. Chaffin slides down with defenders draping him to the 37-yard line. It's a big gain for another Baxter Pharmacy and Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate. First down.
I got good news and bad news for Lebanon. The good news is Juwan Stafford made another tackle. The bad news is it's 15 yards downfield.
That is not ideal for the Blue Devils tonight. And Bronston Chaffin, he had 150 yards passing in the first half. He's going to be near 200 rushing yards, 150-ish. He's going to be way up there in total yards tonight. And I mentioned on the Game Day Morning Show, I said, I think somebody for Upperman is going to emerge as a Mr. Football contender. I think we may be watching that tonight here in week number 2, Jeremy.
If somebody's watching this, if he's not one of the best 3 players in 4A, you're not paying attention.
There's Ethan Polk, and he rumbles forward for a gain of 4. Good news for the Bees, Carmine Phillips back on the field after going down with a cramp. And again, you just see the mix, kind of the explosiveness of Chaffin, and then Polk physically barreling inside.
You know, it's crazy. You're talking Mr. Football, but you think of the region. You got Pinion, you got Borders, you got Chaffin. It may just be.
Hey, I'll tell you this right now. Jordan Parker's having a great start to the season for DeKalb County.
I agree with you.
Big game last week, big game this week as well. There's how many 2-0 teams in the region? Stone's going to get a win tonight, it looks like. They'll be 1-1. Everybody else, I believe, besides Cumberland County, is going to get to 2-0. One receiver each way for Chaffin. It's his turn now. Around left side. Tries to bounce it. He's hit. And now he's going to be taken down. And that is the first negative running play of the game for Upperman. Very well defended on that left side. And it's 3rd down and 7 with 9:40 to go in the ball game. It is 4-down territory here for Upperman as they're on the 34.
And right now the clock's their friend. I mean, that's the only thing you've got to do is get to 0-0, go back to Baxter with a win. You're in no hurry whatsoever.
Stick around postgame for the American Farmhouse postgame show. Hallie will be joined by Adam Kane after they break their postgame huddle to talk about this game. Stick around for it. Coming up just moments away. 9:14 to go in the ball game. Motion man across is Phillips. Snap taken. Chaff is going to keep it himself around left end. He's hit again in the backfield, and the cavalry arrives. Nothing doing on that one, and Lebanon's fielding it on defense. 4th down and 7 upcoming. 2 shortest run plays of the game, and that time Jordan Jewell there defensively. And this is going to be 4th and 7. Upperman's going to go for it, and they're going to throw it. Did they throw it on the first? This may be the first time in the half they have to throw it if they decide to do so.
Couple quick score updates. DeKalb up 35-6, 7:25 left, and a final from White County, 41-0. The Warriors over the Pioneers. Trip Pinion 275 total offense. Wow,
pretty good. Speaking of Mr. Football contenders, 2 receivers to the right. 1 second on the play clock, and Coach Kane's going to call timeout. 8:21 to go. For Upperman, you really don't want to give any momentum. They want to feel like they're playing their best heading into Macon County next week. Lebanon knows that they can get a stop here and a quick score. They can put some real pressure on. 8:21 to go in the ball game. Once again, I'll tell you, Friday night end zone show coming up. I really don't know what's going to happen on it. Usually, I'm like, oh, we got some fun surprises. I really don't know what's going to be said on the end zone show.
You know what's funny is part of me is like, I really wish I was there with you.
And whoever.
Then actually the reality sets in and I go, I don't know that I want to be there. I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't either. And the real concern is I don't know what's happening right now. That's setting up an anticipation for the end zone show.
I would go with you, even though I wasn't invited.
You're invited. I'm inviting you.
But
absolutely.
We are getting up early and leaving about 7 o'clock in the morning to go to Knoxville. So,
man, bring some sunscreen with you. I'll be watching.
The good news is my seats that I bought are row 49 right in the
By the way,
the overhang.
Am I losing my mind as we wait on the timeout to break? Tennessee minus 38.5 feels very disrespectful to an FCS squad. I'm just saying. 4th down and 7 here. 8:21 to go in the game. Upperman working right to left, trying to convert here. Bronston Chaffin in the shotgun. Band starting to rock beneath us. Has the snap. He's rolling over to his right. Looks outside. Pump fakes. Now throws deep downfield. Looking for Theo Brown. He dropped it in there. Are you kidding me? Give him 6. Touchdown, Upperman. Bronston Chaffin dropped it in a bucket from on high. And there's another answer for the Bees.
That would have been a touchdown if he would have caught it in a silo.
That was unbelievable.
Wow.
Rolling to his right, throws it up, and Theo Brown tiptoes down the sideline for an E.J. Barnes. And 931 Sports Cards and Collectibles touchdown.
And you know what I'm impressed with on that play, and I've said this 64 times tonight with Bronston Chaffin, but I thought the ball was going to be thrown out of bounds, but he perfectly placed it to where he wanted his receiver to be, and he ran under the ball, made the catch. Unbelievable.
Roberts on, trying to make it 5 for 5. Snap, set, kick, blocked. Lebanon with the block, and it is a dead ball there. They've been trying to get the block all game. They do, and that leaves it at 34-7. 8:10 to go in the ball game. Upperman had a 4th and 7, and they go 34 yards for the touchdown. Bronston Chaffin with touchdown throw number 3 of the day. We'll be right back with more in 30 seconds. This is the high school football game of the week presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
All Sports and Outdoors in Jamestown is the Upper Cumberland's best sporting goods store. From cleats to camping supplies and everything in between, this family-owned store has it all. All Sports and Outdoors is proud to support our community, including student athletes throughout the Upper Cumberland. Stop in at 207 South Main Street or visit their website at hall42.com. All Sports and Outdoors is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Hey guys, it's Jason Fye, General Manager of the Watson Chevrolet. You're watching the high school football game of the week on the Watson Chevrolet UCR Media Network.
Welcome back. Upperman answers after the kickoff return by Lebanon, and they punch it in. A 34-yard touchdown strike from Bronston Chaffin to Theo Brown. 184 yards passing for Bronston Chaffin. He's over 100 rushing as well. Stick around postgame for the Nelson Trophy and screen printing player of the game.
Don't kick it to number 2.
And that was a really good catch by Theo Brown as well. Can't neglect that as Upperman gets lined up. Roberts to kick it away, and we've got a late whistle. And something weird happened in there on that one. And the official comes in and says, we're good. 8:10 to go. It's 34-7. Roberts kicks it away from Deuce Edwards to the left side. Fielded on the 15. Trying to set up the blockers, now wiggling to the left. And the ball is out. It's fumbled on the ground. It's scooped up. Upperman has it on the 16-yard line. Punched out on the return, and the Bees now are trying to push it to a running clock. And there, Cody Lowe came in. What another play by this Upperman team. One punch thrown by Lebanon tonight, and they've answered in a major way. Cody Lowe dives on the football. Nearly was a scoop and score. Just couldn't quite keep his feet under him. They'll spot it at the fumbled spot. So it's going to be about the 20. And it is into the Twin Lakes Catfish Farm and Baxter Family Dentistry red zone. Upperman with a 1st and 10 from the 19. We appreciate Gentry's Power Equipment for being a presenting sponsor of tonight's game. Bronston Chaffin putting on a show. He's back in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Got a hand off to Polk. Polk gets through the teeth of the defense and carries them forward inside the 15. Positive gain on 1st down. Big Israel Alvarez a part of blocking up front. The transfer in playing center. Carter McPeak, the sophomore linebacker there defensively. It's going to be 2nd and 6.
Tick, 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 tick.
7:35 to go. And for a Lebanon team that said they had this game circled, last year's was 24-14. This one more lopsided than that.
Well, if they circled it in pencil, they need to erase it.
2nd down and 6 upcoming here. 2 to the left. Snap taken. Handoff goes to Polk. Polk again just trying to lower the shoulder. He's looking for contact as he rumbles in. Gain of 3, and it's going to be 3rd down and short for the Bees as we go under 7 to play. Once again, stick around for the American Farmhouse post-game show. I promise it's coming up. Upperman just keeps getting the football back. 6:50 to go in the game. It started with a touchdown pass of 14 yards to Walter Kane. Then Bronston Chaffin went in from 6 yards out. Capped it off the first half with an 84-yard touchdown pass to Branson Turnbow. As he motions block off the line, now has the snap. Chaffin's going to keep it himself around the right side. Breaks a tackle. Bronston Chaffin inside the 10 for a Baxter Pharmacy. And Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate 1st down. Then in the second half, Upperman got a stop, forced a turnover on downs. Answered with a 2-yard touchdown rush by Ethan Polk. And then Bronston Chaffin just found Theo Brown for a 34-yard strike. Carter McPeak with another tackle there, getting Chaffin down. 1st and goal Bees from the Lebanon 6-yard line. And the best part about it is Coach Kane will say they could have played better. 6 minutes to go. It's 34-7. 2 to the left. Chaffin has the snap. Going to carry it around right side. Got a block in front. Bronston Chaffin to the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown Upperman. Bronston Chaffin again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total touchdowns for the junior quarterback, and it's 40-7. Another 931 Sports Cards and Collectibles and EJ's Barnes touchdown.
The lead block there impressed me. Got 2 defenders, let Bronston get right around his right shoulder, released the block, then caught the other one at the goal line. Just really, really, really impressive.
Roberts trying to make this one a little bit cleaner. Last one was blocked. Snap, set, kick. Good. 41-7, and it is running clock time in Wilson County tonight. 5:47 to go in the ball game. Upperman has opened it up, about to get to 2-0 on the season. This is the high school football game of the week, and you're watching it on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network, presented by Gentry's Power Equipment.
When you order delivery from Domino's, you can get more than just pizza for $6.99. You can get specialty chicken, savory pastas, oven-baked Parmesan bread bites, molten lava crunch cakes, and medium 2-topping pizzas as well. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
Welcome back to the high school football game of the week. Now, here's Noah McKay, Jeremy Tallison, and Hallie Ledbetter.
Welcome back. Tonight's broadcast presented by Gentry's Power Equipment. It is all Bees, 41-7. We knew the test was different this week for Upperman, but they are doing what they did a week ago, rolling, this time over a 6A opponent that's going to be a competent football team here on the road.
Hey, one more final we've not talked about tonight, but Jackson County with the win tonight, 20-6 over Sell Creek. Good for them.
2-0 for Jackson
Good
County
for them
to start the season. This kickoff going to be fielded at the 15-yard line, trying to set up the return to the outside at the 30. There goes the speed, tiptoeing, and now the stick as he's taken down out of bounds by Cody Lowe. Got a fumble recovery earlier. Going to be first and 10 Lebanon on about the 46-yard line. And the clock is running. Upperman has come on the road to a well-coached football team and running clock to 6A squad.
You know, I mentioned it earlier about last week and me about Fayetteville, and thought it was all it was partly Fayetteville's fault they got beat so bad. And truthfully, it's really Upperman. Upperman is hitting on all cylinders.
They are the number one ranked team in the UC Top 5. They are the number one ranked team in Class 4A in the Tennessee Sports Writers Association poll, which is a good poll. We're a part of it. Across the state, it's new this year. Well over 30 from across the state. It's well balanced. Have voted Upperman the number one ranked team in the state, and they look the part tonight. Snap taken. Pass to the outside on a quick hitch. Receiver makes the catch, and he is cut down, and it was dropped. Carmine Phillips chasing from behind. They were looking to the outside for John Binion. And it's 2nd and 10. And the clock ticking now inside of 4.5 minutes to go. Once again, next week, double feature. We will be in Baxter for a huge one. Macon County comes to town to take on these Upperman Bees. Both teams blowout victories in week 1 and in week 2. And then on UCR 2, it is Cookeville Sparta. Late sub into the game for Upperman, as Johnson tries to get off the field, and he will. 4 minutes to play, 2nd and 10. Edwards goes in motion. Mariah's going to keep it himself up the middle. He stiff arms, and then he is stuck. Upperman continues to hit hard, and there's big number 35, Jude Fitzpatrick, flying in, and he's listed at just 5'10", 180. He looks better out there, or bigger, I should say, out there in the pads. 3rd and 6 upcoming here for the Bees. .328 and counting. This is not going to take long. It's going to take about 3 minutes and 25 seconds to be done with this football game, because it is running clock. Past 30 points in the state of Tennessee, and you run it in the second half. 3rd down and 7 here as Mariah breaks huddle. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Snap taken. Upperman brings pressure. He has time. Fires looking deep downfield, and it's going to be overthrown, incomplete. And it's 4th down, another stop. Upperman's defense has not allowed a point tonight. It was special teams. They gave up a kickoff return to the very elusive Deuce Edwards.
Really impressive coverage down there by Cody Lowe.
Carmine Phillips there as well on the other side as the DB. Both Lowe and Phillips doing a nice job. And Lebanon is going to keep the offense on the field. Why not? 2:40 to go. It's 41-7. Coach Kane was concerned this morning when I talked to him.
Listen, there's no bigger fan than me of Kyle's shoulders. What do you do when you watch this film?
2 to the left, 1 to the right. Snap taken. Mariah, he's being pressured. He's being hit, stays on his feet. Now tries to cut upfield and run. Mariah still on his feet. 1 stiff arm, and he has the 1st down and more. Mariah, he's to the 30 and jukes out of bounds. Nice play there for the Lebanon quarterback. Most explosive play out of him tonight, and it's a first down as we go under 2 minutes to play in the ball game. Lebanon trying to finish strong. See somebody in an Alabama shirt beneath us and a Tennessee hat. Explain that to me. That makes no sense. And also,
well, the best part is the Tennessee hat's on his head, so it's close to his brain.
There you go. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Snap taken from Mariah. He's going to hand off. Edwards runs head first and gets flipped over. And that time, once again, it's Jude Fitzpatrick on the tackle. Under 90 seconds to play in a game that has been dominated again by Upperman. Second meeting all time, Upperman. They won last year 24-14. This one, more lopsided. And if you weren't taking this Upperman team seriously before tonight, you better get your head out of the sand in a hurry. Mariah dropping back, looking for the pump and go. Now he starts to tuck it. He is going to run. Now jukes upfield. Mariah, he's got room to run again. He's playing backyard football, trip pinion style. He's into the end zone for a touchdown for Lebanon. Coach Kane won't be happy about that one. But Lebanon does get in the double figures with a touchdown rush by the quarterback, Isaiah Mariah. Nice play there. He takes both big plays on the drive, and it's 41-13.
And obviously Upperman's got a bunch of subs in, so he's doing this on their second string or some of their third string. But still impressive run by the running back, by the quarterback. But it's against the backups.
There's no question how this game went tonight. Kicking unit on here for Lebanon. Snap, set, kick, and it is good. Lebanon answers with 41-14. But the story tonight, the dominance of the Bees. We're just moments away from the American Farmhouse post-game show. Stick around for that. Hallie will be joined by Coach Kane when they break the post-game huddle. Once again, appreciate Gentry's Power Equipment, all of our sponsors. Those of you watching on the Hub Plus Roku app, channel 192 on Spectrum in Twin Lakes, listening on 106.1 The Eagle, watching on the UCR Facebook page, of which there's been a huge crowd tonight, the UCR YouTube channel as well. .53 seconds to go in the game, and we'll see what they do in the kicking game here for Lebanon. Upperman will probably just run the ball a few times and get ready to get back on the yellow school bus and head back. Last week they traveled down to Fayetteville on Thursday night, treated it like a playoff game. It worked for them. This week, of course, a much shorter drive, although the traffic on I-40 was ridiculous this afternoon. It was absolutely brutal. I feel like I left at 2 o'clock and barely made it in time. 41-14, Upperman on top. Kickoff coming here for Lebanon. 53 seconds to go in the game. And they are going to kick it deep. Elijah Fitz goes back, and he's going to try and return it, and he's just going to take a knee on the 5-yard line. What's the rule there, Jeremy? They get it on the 5?
Get it on the 5. No college application here. The best part is the clock's running.
I think
the clock should be
stopped because they got it under 30. Does it run throughout? People have said both ways. Because now it's at 27. Some quick math. So it's stopped at 52.
It is stopped. It is stopped because they did get back below 30.
Upperman's about to run the football, I would imagine, and we'll see if it's Bronston Chaffin or maybe some backups. I think it is the 2s checking in here for the Bees, and rightfully so. You do not want to put those big dogs at risk here.
You can go ahead and start looking forward to next week.
Absolutely right, as they will break the huddle here. And this is Elijah Barlow, the backup quarterback, sophomore. Has the snap, going to keep it himself around the right side. He's at the 5, now bounces it upfield to the 10, and he's going to be slung down. Clock continues to run. Coach Gentry's not burning the timeout, so one more play, and then Upperman can break down, huddle up, and hit the road back to Baxter with a big win and get to 2-0 on the season. In his tenure, Coach Kane in his 7th season in Baxter, Upperman is about to improve to 67-13. Far and away already the winningest coach in Upperman football history. It is a machine that just continues to roll, and all the attention across the area will turn towards that matchup next Friday night in Baxter between them and the Macon County Tigers. Macon County thinks it's their year. Upperman wants to hang on to their throne. We're going to find out. Snap taken here for Barlow. Final play of the game. He's going to get hit and taken down, and that will do it. Your final score tonight, Upperman comes on the road to Wilson County and gets it done in convincing fashion. Upperman 41, Lebanon 14. We welcome you into the American Farmhouse postgame show. We appreciate Miss Amy Allen at American Farmhouse for her long-running sponsorship of us here. Great store there. We buy a lot of our gifts, birthdays and Mother's Day, Father's Day, all the like. They're having their big fall festival coming up here soon there in Baxter. She puts that on, does a great job with it. This is the American Farmhouse postgame show, and Jeremy, we've said it a bunch of different ways. We'll talk about it again coming up later on and on the coach's show, I'm sure. Pure dominance tonight out of Upperman. They're 2-0, and neither game has been close at all.
And really, it's you separate phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams, except for the return they give up to number 2, give to Deuce. They dominate in every single phase of the game. They run the ball. They pass the ball. You know, we talked about it last week. 6 different people scored touchdowns. I see why. I mean, it's 10, 12 different people touched football tonight.
And tonight for the Upperman Bees, as we will wrap up, and we're waiting on Coach Kane to break that post-game huddle that they're about to get in. And we'll give you some of the stats from the game as well. It started back in the first quarter on a 14-yard touchdown pass, just like it did last week to Walter Kane on that wheel route out of the backfield. Then Bronston Chaffin carried it in from 6 yards out. Upperman got a stop late in the half. Bronston Chaffin had a 96-yard touchdown rush called back. 2 plays later, 84-yard on the go to Branson Turnbow. His only reception tonight for Branson Turnbow was a touchdown with 11 seconds left in the half. Ethan Polk then answered in the second half with his first touchdown rush, a 2-yard scamper. Then Deuce Edwards took off for a kickoff return for a touchdown, kind of a broken play. The ball was rolling around for a while. He made him pay. Bronston Chaffin then answered, though, on 4th down with a great pass of the day to Theo Brown in the corner of the end zone. Dropped it in a bucket from 34 yards out. And Bronston Chaffin again late in the game, a 6-yard touchdown rush. They got a garbage time touchdown late, did Lebanon, and their final score, 41-14. Coach Kane wondered if they could get to that certain level, Jeremy, that level they could get to last year, and he said this morning, or even beyond that. You compare game to game, they've gotten beyond it against Fayetteville. They've gotten beyond it against Lebanon. They'll be trying to do that next week against a very good and very motivated Macon County team.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch that. Like I said, 2 of the best coaches in the business, Kyle Shoulders and Coach Kane. It's going to be electric at Upperman next week. It's going to be absolutely electric.
We'll have Hallie bring Coach Kane to about where she's standing now. I know she can hear me in her ear. So we'll have her bring him there and interview after they break this post-game huddle. Again, they didn't bring their whole roster. They just bring the 40 or so that can play, that are going to play, and they took care of business. They've already erased the scoreboard here at Lebanon. I don't know if I blame them at all.
And they've probably already erased that circle as well.
But an opportunity for Lebanon next week. They will be a big favorite when they go on the road to Warren County before hosting Cookeville in what is a very important region showdown in Region 4 6A. Here's some stats from the game. Again, thanks to Kurt and Melinda for taking care of them right next to us here. Always fun to be in the booth with them. We'll be with them next week in Baxter. Lebanon in this game, 23 rushes for 97 yards, just 3 receptions for 33 yards passing in the contest. Upperman, 42 carries, 264 yards, 184 passing yards. You look at the stats for the Bees. Bronston Chaffin, 19 carries, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ethan Polk, 20 for 95 and a score. Elijah Barlow, 2 for 12. Carmine Phillips, 1 carry for 11 yards. Bronston Chaffin throwing sensational tonight. 10 of 12, 184 yards, and 3 touchdowns, which leads us to the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game. Jeremy, I imagine we're on the same page tonight.
Tell you, last week I actually flipped with about 2 minutes to go in the game.
Yep, big play.
This week I may have decided about 30 seconds into the game. I may have decided when I walked out and saw the guy warming up in warm-ups. But absolutely no question. And listen, when you throw like that, it takes the receivers to catch it. When you run like that, it takes your lead blockers. It takes the offensive line. But Bronson Chaffin just put on a show. Just put on a show tonight.
And while we wait on Coach Kane, we'll cut away and go to him as soon as Hallie gives the signal that she's ready down there. You know, for Upperman, again, back-to-back weeks on display. Yes, there was more Bronson Chaffin heavy tonight. The amount of weapons that they have on this football team, very evident on both sides of the football. You talk about Walter Kane getting his second touchdown reception of the year. Branson Turnbow, and he's still getting healthy. He's still getting back to 100%, even though he ran away from everybody. And you want to see how to get out there if you're a sideline reporter. Hallie getting right in there to grab Coach Kane and bring him over. We'll hear from him momentarily. Stick around for that, and then join us for the Friday Night End Zone show coming up just a little while from now. We'll get packed up on the road. It's going to start before I'm even back, which is the most terrifying part. That could be really concerning. But Hallie will grab Coach Kane and bring him about to where she is on the other side of the field to talk to us up here in the booth. How about Hallie doing a great job in year number 2, MTSU's finest, Livingston Academy's finest. Her Wildcats got to 2-0, and she is ready. Hallie, whenever you're ready with Coach Kane.
Coach, how about the play of Bronson Chaffin tonight?
Wow, he was good, and the sad part about it is his best play didn't even count for us tonight. But he's a special dude. You know, I think he's really starting to understand the things he can do for this team. Anytime you got a dual threat guy that can, you know, make big plays, throwing and passing, it's a big obstacle for the defense. So I'm definitely glad he's on our side.
Do you feel that your team met that physicality standard that you set for them prior to the game? You
know, there was points in the game where they were, you know, they're 6A and it kind of showed up, and we were kind of having trouble moving them. I felt like we got a little, once we got a little momentum, you know, we were able to kind of do the things that we want to do. And but we had to kind of chip away at it in the first part of the football game. I think the biggest play of the game was a Branson Turnbow touchdown. That kind of really gave us a little separation that we needed. And you know, I think they're a solid team. You know, we had trouble getting Paulk going, and I think for a week 2 football game, that was a good win for us.
Great, thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Thanks.
There's Adam Kane with Hallie Ledbetter in as always, areas they could improve. There was times where that 6A front showed, and that's true, and that's the standard that he's established there. Mentioned win number 67 in Baxter for the Bees, and they've pretty much made it clear just like they did last year. They were on the revenge tour this year. They're trying to get back to Chattanooga. They got to play like that every week if they want to do that, Jeremy.
I'll tell you, and again, we've talked about it, but he's looking for win number 68 next week. Kyle Shoulders, like I said, is one of the best coaches in the area. He's going to have a game plan. He's got a couple of studs himself. So at the end of the day, you know, being at Upperman, a little bit of an advantage for Upperman, but I'll tell you, it is just going to be it kind of. I'll be honest with you, it kind of feels like that third-round playoff game.
It does.
At Upperman, there's a lot on the line. It's and if I know you remember, but if Borders makes the catch, who knows?
If he gets it at that fumble, Branson Turnbow hunted him down at the end of that first half. I mean, no doubt about it. So, no doubt we'll have plenty of time to talk about it. Later on, Friday Night End Zone show, Tuesday night, live from the rooftop. Jacob and I will talk about that game. Cookville, Sparta, Livingston, DeKalb. Important game there. Big games all across the Upper Cumberland as we get into the region slate starting next Friday night. Join us for the Friday Night End Zone show coming up just a few minutes from now. It's going to be a lot of fun, I promise. You're not going to want to miss that live on the UCR Facebook page. Your final score tonight in the high school football game of the week. Upperman gets to 2-0 in impressive fashion as they roll past Lebanon on the road. Your final score, Upperman 41, Lebanon 14. I'm Noah McKay for Jeremy Tollison to my left, Hallie Ledbetter on the sideline, Madison McKay producing things. We'll remind you to keep your eyes on UpperCumberlandReporter.com for the latest coverage of high school sports throughout the area. And have a great night, everybody.